Alright, there we go. We are audible. AKA, welcome everybody to just a chill day. Just a day of good vibes.
A day of remembrance for all that we've lost in the past 18 hours.
Which I have no idea what that was, but hey.
That's fucked if I know, but shit, if you lost someone in the last 18 hours, fucking get wrecked, scrub.
Uh, but, okay, so Griffin. The boys from Elo's Griffin. I got a thing for you. We're now just the boys, the boys from Elo's. Insert name here.
Like, I don't like that moniker.
I don't know, but no, you told me about the PKA podcast, right?
Yeah.
So I've been watching a bunch of it.
Oh, really? Have you?
Yeah, like a bunch of compilations or like moments from it.
Huh.
And I'm just gonna say it's fuck Woody.
give the man a break, god damn it.
I'm sorry, but it was when he had his whole fuck Robin Williams speech. I was like, yeah, no, go fuck yourself.
Listen, this man was beat till he shit himself as a child, right? He's got issues.
Okay, and
Gotta give the man a break. He's old. He's also the only one that takes things mildly serious out of all of them. Dislike him as much as you want, but he's necessary.
he is necessary. He is the counterbalance to the bullshittery. Anyways, so what's our first RPG horror story for today?
Oh god. So the first header.
Did I join at the right time?
Yeah.
Wait, are you actually
DM accuses me of lying about being gay to hook up with women.
Oh shit, Zephyr's here as
what?
well.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't fucking hear him join?
I know. I
driving home and I was bored, so I joined.
Yeah, no, I'm on Do Not Disturb, so it doesn't give me the join notification.
Oh. Are you streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I'm just doing some. I don't mind that you're here. I'm just doing some grinding in Final Fantasy. And we're gonna do some RPG horror stories.
Hell yeah!
This shows who of our fucking guest rotation doesn't follow us. Oh god. But anyways, so I guess I don't know how this one's gonna fucking progress because it says medium. It's fucking short. So fucking that's a rant for another time.
Well,
Reddit doesn't know.
I would say Reddit's also a place where if you use
don't know.
Reddit's also a place if you use
letters instead of names.
Yeah. Well, hold on now, James. Is it an abbreviation, an acronym, or an initialism?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, Jesus, fuck. Some dipshit thought that BBEG was an acronym. It's like, no, it's not. The initialism.
Yeah, those are rude, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're also very American, even though it's a fucking Greek word.
Anyways.
So I just read the first two sentences, and I'll be honest, the fucking second sentence is really funny if you consider it as fucking. You'll see what I mean. Oh god. Heyo, first time posting here, but long time listener to horror story readers like D&D Doge, Crow's Perch, Crispy's Tavern, Crit Crab, and Den of the Drake. Horror story readers.
Because I heard hoary.
No.
Is that could be you? You could be a horror story reader.
I mean, I'd take that job.
Bro, just fucking,
oh.
Just read smut all day.
But also, first red flag, Crit Crab.
So, once you keep in mind that first sentence, all right, I'm gonna read the second sentence. Now, I want you to understand, when I read it mentally, I read it with it starting with so. Okay, keep that in mind. I apologize in advance if this isn't written all that well. My fucking head is like, yeah, I listen to all these people. So if I just sound like a fucking idiot, then just forgive me. That's why. Oh, god damn it. But I mean, it doesn't seem terribly written, at least on a fucking first glance, but we'll fucking see, because know how I am.
What was it? Something about pretending to be gay.
Yeah, DM accuses me of lying about being gay to hook up with women.
Okay,
Which,
okay.
Also, fun fact, Zephyr found out accordion ends with an O-N, not an A-N. Yeah, had that wrong for a while.
Fuck, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I did it. It threw me for a loop. Regardless, this occurred last month when I was attempting to see if I could find any local D&D 5e games to play in after a friend's campaign fell through. I was checking out one of the local gaming stores and they had a board posted up where people could advertise their games. So that's the first thing to note. This is an in-person game. It's very important to know. One immediately caught my attention for a campaign set in Critical Role's Exandria and even advertised about being LGBTQ plus friendly, and only asked to ping the DM on Discord to be interviewed before being allowed to join the game. I did so, and an interview was scheduled almost immediately for that night, as the DM said they were ecstatic to finally be getting another player to join. I already had a character concept I was excited to try out. A Way of Mercy monk who works as an alchemist and follows the Raven Queen. That's
God
fucking
fucking damn it.
retarded.
God
That's
fucking damn it.
so
What?
stupid
What?
already.
Wait,
There's so much going on with that doesn't make sense.
wait, isn't the Raven Queen the whole Shadowfell lady?
The matron
Yeah, that
of
doesn't
death.
line up with anything.
Yeah.
Yes, already.
So what?
Way
I
of
was gonna say.
Mercy
I wanted to say.
doesn't.
Go ahead.
Way of Mercy. Aren't they like able to heal with their punches half the time?
Yeah.
Like they can
Yeah.
choose to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Also, what the fuck is that? Why alchemist?
I don't know. I guess
Like
they
that's the part
figured
that
that
makes
would
the
like.
most sense, just because it's not outright retarded.
So, because here's the thing. Because if they had
Monks
said
The
an
other jobs, I guess.
herbalist,
But
then that would have made sense to me.
It's an
But they said
herbalist?
alchemist. If they had said herbalist, that would have made sense. But
Yeah.
they say alchemist.
Yeah, that's
And
what I was
alchemist
asking.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no. If they had said like, oh, I'm, I'm, like, if their whole thing was, oh, using, natural medicines and herbs and teas and shit, I was like, okay, you can do a monk like that.
Yeah, I
Or
mean, if
you
that's like a side thing, that's fine.
Yeah.
That fits and all.
Or if you do,
And-
like, whatchamacallit, if I think of it, you could do take it as in, not like, Eastern monk, but like Western monk.
Yeah.
Part of a divine order, and
Which they don't, but it's fucking.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
makes ales, and that's my quote unquote alchemy.
And to be fair, maybe they just said alchemist and they meant herbalist. That's completely possible.
Could have used it as a catch-all.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
or like
then you put
they
in
meant
the Raven
brewery,
Queen.
brewery.
Let me do a little side Google search. Fucking.
I heal with my punches and my medicines, and yet I serve the closest thing to death itself in D&D.
This artwork's kind of ugly. Raven Queen was a mysterious entity from the Shadowfell who was revered as a deity by the Shadar Kai. Which fucking just reminds me of that one game that I think was named something like that. Fucking came out so long ago. Her alignment is lawful neutral. Oh, I think it was called like El Shaddai or some shit like that. It was a terrible game, from what I remember.
So that's
The Raven Queen was obsessed with collecting and observing mementos and fragments of memories and essences. Many sages speculated that she was in fact insane, believing her methods and behavior little more than aimless curiosity or a desperate attempt to prevent her fragile existence from fading into oblivion. Others maintained that there was a cosmological function that was performed by the Queen's actions, as she purified souls by forcing mortals to deal with their fears and pains. It was believed that her true intentions were only known to the Lady of Pain. So, none of that really sounds like an easy, direct fucking connection.
that's a stretch and a half. It's like he thought the Raven Queen was cool. Didn't go any further past that.
Yeah.
Which, like, here's the thing. If you think something cool, like, that's fine, but try to still make it make sense. Because fucking, I assure you, if you focus on making it make sense, it's gonna be better overall. Fucking, don't just do it to do it. Regardless. Stay of that fucking weird concept. Interview. The interview came, and I hopped into a Discord call with the DM after sharing the concept with them. And things started to turn bad after just saying hello and thanking them for their time. Their tone immediately went neutral, and the first thing they asked is if I was trans or NB, non-binary. I told them I wasn't, and they almost immediately dropped the call. I messaged to ask if something was wrong, and the DM says that their table has no place for men pretending to play to get into women's pants, wanting to keep their table safe. I let them know that I was gay and have no interest in trying to hook up with anyone through the game, but they ignore me and further accuse me of lying just to try and weasel my way in. I tried to point out to the DM that their advertisement at the store said the group was LGBTQ plus friendly, but they just swiftly blocked me and everything just ended there. While it all still baffles and saddens me, I can only guess that maybe the DM ran into this issue before, which I can understand if they would be more cautious during interviews, but outright blowing up on someone is a bit uncalled for. Edit, as a few people have asked or brought up, I couldn't really tell which gender the DM could have been presenting as the Discord call was too short and being safe. I normally always use they them pronouns for people I do not know until correct. This didn't even progress very far. It was like, oh, you're trying to fuck the women in this game.
Yeah.
No.
This wasn't even like, oh yeah, we got into it, and then through resentment they showed me. I brought it up, and then they were like, you fucker, and then it's just like, yeah, I just said I was gay only, and then they got mad.
Fucking, like, there was no even build up to it. It's just like, fucking, start, climax, resolution. Fucking,
yeah.
There's no rising action.
There was no hit.
No falling action.
There was no hero's journey here.
Yeah. Odysseus did not make it home. They did battle the Gorgon. I don't think Odysseus battled.
Little line of...
That one. That's fucking weird. I was kind of disappointed. Oh, okay. This one actually is long. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See, this one caught my eye because, god damn, is it a hell of a title. You know something is serious when someone pulls out their gaming credentials.
This is Runa.
Oh boy. I don't
This is
know.
Runa Part 2.
Oh yeah, Griffin, what time tomorrow? Same as last time?
I'd say aim for the same one, yeah.
Alrighty.
Because, like I said, I have to do the thing in the morning with my sister, so fucking
Alright, yeah.
deal with that.
Joe was
What do you guys
asking.
playing?
Yeah, I saw it. I was about to fucking talk to you about it.
You guys making love without me? It's cool.
No, watching the Lord of the Rings because fucking Joe's gay.
Yeah, Joe hasn't seen them ever.
Do what?
Joe has never seen the Lord of the
Oh,
Rings. The only
Lord
one
of
he's
the
seen
Rings.
is
Yeah.
Fellowship, and it's because we watched it with them.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, I also haven't, but I
It
don't
doesn't.
care. So
It doesn't. It makes me feel worse, actually.
it should.
So, this is going to be more on the absurd side rather than the horror, but here we go. I'm part of a huge Discord server that is all about TRPGs, a HUD to find games of sorts. It's so big that it's not uncommon for ads for campaigns there be filled within an hour or so. There it is. There's the issue. there's the
Yeah.
fucking problem. God damn it.
People need to take more than an hour to find someone.
Yeah.
I don't care how big it is. You can't take a spot. Why are you not talking to them?
My next fucking campaign I run, I'm gonna take a month to fucking find someone.
No, you won't.
Well, I am, because I'll tell you about it later.
We'll see about that one. Regardless. Now, as per usual, the mods there have the tendency of being assholes because they can. Fair.
Is this just a massive D&D server that I was banned from?
I don't know. They didn't specify.
I
Oh.
think it's that one, I'm gonna be honest.
This is where the person who I'm referring to at the title comes from. Let's call her Tamara. Fake name, obviously. Fucking, well, yeah, fucking, have to still, God damn you. I'm starting to dip my feet into the DM's shoes after years of being a player. It's a bit harder than it appeared to be, but I have fantastic players that, even if I scored the intricacies of a hobby, such as combat and balancing issues, they more than enjoy the campaigns I do. Heck, one of them even writes a diary in character. It's a fancy way of keeping notes. Is this Morta?
This Morta? What?
This is weird. Anyways, also, memes galore in regards to the occurrences. I don't like this guy.
I think this is just our group.
I don't know.
Is this fucking Zafet?
One of these slips up. One of these slip-ups happened when I made an enemy encounter at sea. I accidentally spawned in too many enemies at a time and noticed the turns would take forever to roll. So at the moment, I decided to spawn in a huge sea creature to scare the enemies off. At the top of my head, I spawned a kraken. The party's objective was to keep the kraken at bay by any means necessary until they reached shallow waters a few miles/turns from there. Now, when I told this tale to the server, as you know, people usually do, his grammar's all fucked up. I describe as one player was slapped off deck into the ocean by one of its attacks as collateral damage. Tamra then proceeded to ask, this is Tamra. Please tell me you killed the character.
Why?
No. Tamra. Then you're garbage as a DM.
What?
Well, that was a pretty
What?
simple exchange. She then proceeded to list N reasons as to why this whole situation should be a TPK. I don't know what N is supposed to... Is the refining fucking X? I don't know what equation is supposed to be used there, but okay. And then I
Maybe
get the
numerous?
encounter wrong. Maybe, but it's also a capital N, so that's also right. I don't know.
Griffin, I
Anyways.
have not had to find an inn in a long time. All right, I haven't had to do that. I've known where they all are.
I'll find this shit.
Oh, and I did the encounter wrong because the Kraken's divine status and that its intelligence is higher than the whole party combined. So I
Here's
shouldn't be
all this
playing
person,
as a
here's
rational
all this
animal.
person had to say. It's my game.
That's all I had to say.
You're not
But,
DM.
but,
There you go.
but,
Easy.
but,
I
we
found
don't,
it.
we don't know that they didn't. What's it mean? Do we have an official answer?
No, I just saying I found the fucking horror story.
Oh, fucking weirdo. Even when I said the setting of my campaign has different rules and that my games are more casual and character-driven ones, she doubled down and added later. This is Tamra. It's thanks to stupid DMs like you that we, not stupid DMs, get stupid players at our tables who think they can take on a Tarask or Ancient Dragon at level 1, or that can't even roll HP gains for every level up. And a whole lot of nothings I can't bother to remember. That was where it would be left. But the thing about one of my campaigns is that I'm doing a system of my own based off of Fire Emblem. That's dumb. It's honestly a hot mess, but hey, my players are having fun with it in the story so far.
Fair enough.
However, due to being a homemade system, it's open exploits, and in this campaign I'm doing with a min-max for the first time. The player is great, but part of me fears that due to him stomping a lot of rolls may intimidate the players, and went to the server to ask for the DMs there how to deal with this. God, this fucker is... Oof. Well, I received some nice tips like using situations where his min was key to success or have a specific type of enemy to him, alongside systems that better accommodate my vision for the campaign. Tamra wasn't so helpful. Here are the highlights of her responses when I presented my problems, because he, for some reason, didn't block her at this point. You don't do a living world. Then no wonder you're having this sort of problem. Without telling me how to better do this living world. Who told you to make your own system? You deserve everything bad happening to your table. The only thing moderation there hates more than handmade systems is Ordum Paranormal. I guess that's
Gotcha.
a fucking system.
It is a system.
Okay. Again, it's thanks to stupid DMs like you that we have to deal with stupid players. I mean, I'm going to argue that most maxes aren't terribly stupid. They're not idiots at the very least. They're dumb, but fucking, they're at least smart enough to be able to see an exploit. So that's kind of, that doesn't really fit. After that, I kind of snapped and told her to shove it because I play my games to have fun, to help others have fun, that she was taking TTRPGs too seriously. Oh dear, here's where it comes. After that, the unexpected happened. She, no joke, pulled off her gaming credentials to justify why she takes it seriously. like her participating in giving 50 speeches when it comes to TTRPGs, studying tabletop design, and being a professional narrator and cartographer, etc.,
You're
etc.
not a professional cartographer. No, you're not.
It's
Not
not even a
professional
gaming
narrator.
credential.
And has nothing to. Sure, the DM is technically a narrator. If you want to boil it down to its most basic.
No, it is. It is. Cartography? No. Fucking.
Yeah. Just because you make a battle map doesn't make you a fucking cartographer.
Yeah.
Also, make a world map doesn't make you a fucking cartographer.
Yeah, your hobby is not a credential.
Also, why are you giving speeches of fucking TTRPGs, you fucking nerd?
I was gonna say it's like I've made jokes like that before.
Participating in? What is that? What does participating in a speech mean? Did you fucking listen?
I was like participated in speeches. So what? You held the cue cards for them in the back?
She says participating and giving, and it's 50 of them. So if she's to be believed,
Still the participation part. Like, were you the one rolling the film over the old timey fucking what is it?
cranking yank?
Teleprompter. Cranking a
Oh.
roll scroll teleprompter.
No, she was holding up the fucking audience cue cards,
Yeah.
so they knew when to applaud.
no, she's
I-
the fucking person who, when they do the
Professional
Q&A, just send one
narrator
person
and
down there to hold the
cartographer.
microphone.
Etc. etc. I like how there's more because they put etc. etc.
Wait, what did you say, Griffin, right there?
I said, no, she's probably the fucking person that, like, when they do Q&As, they have them go down and hold the microphone so that, like, someone doesn't steal it,
No,
and they can fucking cut them off when they want to.
they're the person when they're the person that like in the middle like in between each different speaker comes out and spritzes the fucking microphone with with hand sanitizer to disinfect it. That's who they are.
There's a fucking comment. Unless she's employed by the Ministry of the Interior, or whatever it's called in Brazil, I strongly suspect professional cartographer is code for drew some hex maps and sold one of them for $10 online. Just like professional narrator is participated in a bootleg fan dub of an anime series once.
Probably.
I uploaded that shit.
Kind
But
of
there's more.
fucked.
I just said this still doesn't justify her taking this too seriously and act like her way of playing is the right way to play it. And the second response arrived. It's Tara. Yes, dear, I take it seriously because this is my job and I have a reputation to live up. Only for me to see stupid and retarded people like you to remind me that this gin is making TTRPGs worse by the day.
What fucking
Wow. What a
job?
fucking-
Like, are
what
you?
a fucking Tony moment.
What the are you are you? Are you? Do you work for what's his name? What the fuck is it?
Wizards.
Oh, and well, not Wizards. I wasn't gonna say Wizards of the Coast. I wasn't even gonna give him that much fucking credit. God damn! It's like, do you work for one of those podcasting companies whose whole thing is that,
Oh.
like fucking geek, like, do you promote Critical Role? Are you on the Critical Role staff?
Sundry?
Like Geek and Sunji, whoever it is, I forget the name of the company. The people who do what used to be Drunks and Dragons. Like, were you on that crew?
Haha.
Oh no, it goes. There's more. There's more.
Yeah.
Though, don't worry.
Fuck, let me check-
Everything that is consumed is garbage. Everything that is created is garbage. And then people like you come thinking I don't have fun with something serious?
What
Here.
the fuck does that mean?
Guys, no, I'm gonna have to hold you on that one. I'm gonna have to finish these last 2 bullet points.
Okay, yeah, you will.
There's no more autistic, retarded, and out of touch argument than RPGs are meant to be fun. When your group kills dragons like goblins and the players think that this is normal and impose that on other games. Playing zoos instead of actual deep characters and a bunch of wannabe anime heroes. I take it seriously because I want the Brazilian TTRPG scenario to grow and not go down the drain with cocksuckers of D&D 5e, Jambo,
RPG system publisher,
and Selbit.
YouTuber who created Ornament Paranormal.
You know what this sounds like? This sounds like someone who heard one explanation of Zbashu's introduction into D&D and took it to heart and listened to nothing else that he had to say about D&D and was like, no.
This person takes Critical Role way too fucking seriously.
Yeah.
No, they take the Brazilian TTRPG scenario too fucking seriously.
What scenario? The scenario where I get my fucking rulebook
You meant
stolen
to say
just for walking
scene.
down the street?
They probably meant C, since the guy's fucking
Because
Brazilian.
If they're Brazilian, they probably English probably.
which would explain the fucking typing.
You know.
Is there
And
what?
to be fair, their second thing, they don't like D&D 5e from the fucking sounds of it.
Why you on a D&D 5? Oh, it's a TTRPG server.
It's a
sorry.
TTRPG server. And it's
That's the most
literally
famous
Brazil.
TTRPG, most popular one.
Yeah, you
Huh.
know, it's what gets people to
Kinda
get
have
to
to-
your more serious level, motherfucker.
It's
If you
kinda
take
D&D.
TTRPGs this seriously, just fucking kill yourself. I don't know if I can say that on your stream, but just fucking do it. Just fucking end it.
Hey, you're not allowed to say stuff like that, but I understand the sentiment. I will say this: please refrain from saying stuff like that in the future. I don't want to get kicked off Twitch, please.
I forgot you were
This
streaming.
is not a call to action.
You're
For legal
good, you're
reasons,
good.
this is a joke.
But there's more.
But no, this is giving me flashbacks to a discussion I heard where this dude was like, "Oh yeah, you know, we were having fun in this system," and the entire time this dude was talking about the session he was just in, these two people were just like, "I don't understand why he doesn't use." I think it was like Savage Worlds. I don't understand why this dude doesn't use Savage Worlds. It would just have everything he wants in it. Like, why doesn't he just use this? And they just like, well, he's adapting this one and these other things. And I'm like, because the dude doesn't want to use Savage Worlds. Shut the fuck up. Let the man use the systems he wants. Like, he's not going to use Savage Worlds because he doesn't want to use Savage Worlds. People don't play the way you two want them to play. It's reminding me of that and it's pissing me off. But go ahead, Griffin. I didn't mean to cut you off like that.
Note, I have autism. Everyone on the server, including Tamra, knows I have autism. So she using retarded and autistic as offenses to my argument was deliberate. After this whole manifesto and her fuming, I decided to take a step back and leave it at that. Didn't want to risk getting a ban and not being able to play my future Fist of the North Star and other campaigns with fellow Brazilians. I'm already kind of not interacting there, mostly just posting some stuff to avoid being banned for being a ghost member. I don't know how to end this tale other than I'm a firm believer of the saying I once heard. The only bad way to play D&D and TTRPGs is when the players and DM aren't having fun. So have fun in your games, folks. And, you know, and that is a good measure. And I will say, you know, as much as we even ourselves will, you know, shit on the things that people do in their campaigns or their characters and stuff like that,
Like, gives a fuck
they're
what they say.
allowed to. Fucking, we're not an authority. Fucking, so long as you fucking, the only time it becomes a fucking issue is if, you know, you don't fucking
Bringing into
accept
other
that
people's game.
in their game. Yeah, like if you follow the rules of that person's fucking game or their scenario, then fine. No one cares. Fucking who
Right.
gives a fuck?
And there's
This is also people. This is why we have session zeros.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, to be fair, this person, this mod that they're just a mod. They're not in this person's game. So
Yeah,
even
no, they
more
were
of
just
a
posting shit about their game and they were getting fucking upset about it.
yeah. So even more of a shut your fucking mouth, mod. Like, who gives a fuck? Shut your fucking mouth.
So,
Nah, I fucking hate people.
Jacob, you're gonna like this next one.
Oh boy. Can I finish my glass of
I'm
wine
gonna
first?
find this server.
Sure, I'll just read the name for it to you. All right, let's see if you do a spit take.
All right.
The Star Wars DM who knew nothing about Star Wars.
Give me a second.
Oh.
Don't
Okay.
run a very setting specific campaign if you don't know about the setting.
Okay, I just finished the rest of that. It's not even good wine
just
because I
gonna
hate
cause
white
things.
wines, and that was a rosé. Fuck that. Anyways, go
You
ahead.
just drank wine? What?
Yeah, I got a bottle of wine from my mom, so
Oh.
Ah,
her and I will drink it together. And she was like, "Oh, hey, here's this bottle that nobody knows who it is, so it's yours now." I was like, "All right, sweet."
note, this story took place 2 years ago, so I did not remember every detail of what happened, but the main details remain the same. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I've always wanted to play in a Star Wars TTRPG, so naturally, when I saw an ad for a Star Wars 5e game looking for players in a D&D Discord server, I'm in. I immediately jumped at the chance to join. The DM accepted me, along with 4 other people, and we all joined his server for the game.
Oh wait.
The DM quickly let us know that it was both his first time DMing and that he isn't an expert on Star Wars lore. Neither of these things were red flags. Some Star Wars fans can definitely be jerks about people not knowing everything and act like gatekeepers about it, and I understood he was definitely looking to avoid that experience. I told him not to worry about it because everyone starts somewhere, and I'm not an expert on Star Wars lore either. One of the other players said that he was, though, and immediately offered to help the DM with any lore questions. We determined a starting date for our first session. About 2 weeks later, and started building our characters. They were all pretty basic since we didn't want to overwhelm a new DM with a bunch of detailed backstories. My character was a Twi'lek bounty hunter, but you'll soon see why I don't remember what characters anyone else played. First session starts with the DM scrambling to get ready. You're all on a ship. I don't have a map of a ship ready. Let me try to find one. We chat a bit about our favorite Star Wars characters, movies, etc. as we wait. It's taking him a while, so one of the players says, I'm DMing a Traveler campaign right now. Do you want one of my ship maps? The DM accepts gratefully and loads the map up into Roll20. The DM makes no attempt to set the scene other than we're all on a ship, and none of us have any time to describe our characters or introduce them to each other. We don't know a relationship with each other, or even why we're on the ship in the first place. Instead, he jumps right into the action with an enemy ship starts firing on you, and it blasts a hole in the side of the ship. Oh dear. One of the characters was standing very close to where this happened, and the DM had her roll a dex save to see if she could stay on the ship. She fails and gets pulled out into space. Another goddamn
Dead, right? Like she's dead.
Another character who I assume was a Jedi attempts to pull her back in using some sort of force power, but also fails. And also has to roll to see if he stays on the ship, and he fails too. And the rest of us, nothing we can do about it.
While that's funny, God's dick move.
Oh, that's awful.
I would hearken to say that is more of a dick move than me having you run off the end of the fucking dock.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
Do an dexterity thing check to see if you could cast this fishing pole. Because you guys have never fished in your lives before. Runs off end of dock.
The DM, realizing that he accidentally killed two of the PCs in the first 2 minutes of the game, says, never mind, I'll retcon that. The blast doesn't rip a hole in the side of the ship, but it does damage it enough that your ship is now crashing towards a planet. Fuck! So you've gone from killing 2 players to killing all of them.
I put out one fire. Unfortunately, made a bigger fire over here.
I was gonna say, I put out a bonfire. Didn't realize the house was on fire at the same time.
Oh, God. Do we know what planets are nearby? I ask him. Yeah, Tatooine.
Naboo. Oh, damn, I'll have close.
Or, oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, Tatooine.
God damn
He
it.
says. Yes, he pronounces it as Tatooine, not Tatooine. And between this and not having a ship map ready, I figure that the DM both knows extremely little about Star Wars and also did not prepare anything at all for the session. You mean Tatooine? Someone asks. I said I wasn't a lore expert, the DM replies, starting to get frustrated. Yeah, it's fucking clear. At this point, 2 of the players just decide to leave. They exit the voice chat and quit the server, saying very little on their way out. It wasn't an enjoyable experience for me at all. I was at least planning on sticking around all the way through the first session, because I didn't want to be rude or hurt the DM's feelings. There was awkward silence in the chat. The DM just decides to cancel the campaign. He leaves the voice chat along with one other player, leaving just me and the other guy there. The 2 of us discussed for a while how weird the whole thing was, and also how we kind of felt bad for the DM. Yeah, he did an absolutely terrible job running the game, but everyone starts somewhere. We were both feeling some extreme secondhand embarrassment for it. After all this, I really hope that this one bad experience doesn't scare the DM off from any future DMing attempts. He obviously was not ready yet, and it baffles me as to why he would choose to run a Star Wars game when he knows basically nothing about the setting. But I felt bad for the guy, and hopefully he can learn from this experience. Some good did come out of this, though. I kept in touch with the other guy who stuck around the chat after the game, and he ended up inviting me to the game he DM'd.
I don't like it when they end positive.
That's kind of the inverse of my experience the first time I ever ran D&D 5e. Star Wars 5e, because I had a player who knew nothing about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I was in a bit of an alternate history, kind of middle of the Empire's occupation thing, right? And they're like, I have no idea what any of this is. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna pull out of the game. I have no idea what the fuck is happening. I was like, fair enough, but next time do research on the setting-specific game.
Did you say it was an alternate history?
But not a semi-alternate history, like AKA, like it was going to be middle of the Empire's occupation, but like if they wanted to go way outside of the actual lore, they could go do whatever they wanted to. Because it's how I run most of my games. I run most of my games of here's your story, but if you go off to a left turn, I have no problem with going with that.
I guess I found one. It's 19 paragraphs.
Oh, God.
I scroll down because I was like, "Who? I feel for this person." The fucking it's 4 responses. Sorry, it's just them bitching about how long it was.
Send me the link.
I'll read it right now.
Send me the link. I'll fucking because we're gonna give this guy his fucking justice.
And that's what I said. We're reading this just because we've been there.
Trust that link. Player picks a fight, then quits the game and calls us toxic when the PCs react accordingly.
And it
This
warns you,
sucks.
it's extra long. And then first line is, "This is a long one. Hold on to your seats." The only thing he doesn't do is change their names.
Yeah. But
Still too long. It's not that long.
to set the scene, we should start from the very beginning. Our group consisted of 6 players, of which myself and the problem player,
Unacceptable.
you're right,
I don't want
who we'll
context.
call Bell, were the newest at the time. Okay, himself and the problem player were the newest at the time. Okay, fuck, I had to figure that one out myself. Her first character was a wood elf nature cleric. Okay, so it's confirming this is she. So let's all keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Wood elf nature cleric. This character was a pretty classic Mary Sue self-insert. One note: innocent good girl who just wants everyone to get along and who can do no wrong in her eyes. Her character's naivete and pacifism was annoying at best, counterproductive at worst. Fucking god damn it. We are
What's
by all
with holy
accounts.
people being pacifists? Stop being a pacifist playing D&D. Fucking stop it.
Why do you think I like war clerics? Because you can't be a pacifist. Fucking-
It literally is pacifism. It's not in my nature, motherfuckers.
We are, by all accounts, a very friendly and casual party. Most of us were friends before joining the campaign, so we were patient with us and included her despite these annoyances. We gave her the benefit of the doubt and assumed her character's flaws were just that, flaws, and roleplayed accordingly. Which, fair enough. You have flaws. That's fine.
You did throw her away right away, which is nice of you.
No, you
Gave
know,
her
to
a
be fair,
chance.
yeah, and if they're friends and all, and they're just getting along, like that's fine. You know, you don't just immediately kick them out because of that. You know, because like I even said before, with our own experience with pacifist players, like if that's just a flaw that their character has that you want to work through in the RP and through the campaign, that's cool. Fucking do it. Go for
I'm
it.
not a motherfucking nerd. You're a motherfucking
I
nerd.
feel like that's not gonna be the case though.
I feel like they just were a pacifist.
Sparing all the details, the annoyances began to stack up. Whenever Belle failed at something in game, she would make excuses about being too tired to play properly. It got to the point where she began to preface every single game, no joke, with a disclaimer about how tired or out of it she was, to excuse herself from being held accountable for whatever she did in the game.
Oh.
Over time, she began to get frustrated with the fact that none of our characters were making allowances for her, and instead were trying to push her to be tougher and less sensitive and naive. She got fed up with us not seeing her as perfect the way she was, and straight up asked the DM to create an NPC for her, a sailor boy who would fall head over heels for her character, even though she wouldn't return his affections.
Dick.
Excuse me?
First of all, bitch. Second of all,
Excuse me?
How would that help?
Oh, I mean, Zephyr, I guess it's official, so I'm gonna need you to make a sailor woman that's gonna fall head over heels for Danlock, and I'm
No.
gonna reject her until she falls into Ollie's arms.
No. Absolutely not. Go fuck right off.
Fair enough. The DM declined because this was such a strange request and had no bearing on the story. Plus,
Good.
why would some random NPC fall for her for no reason?
Good DM.
Generally, players have to take the initiative on NPC relationships unless there's something plot-related involved. Yeah, no, good for him. He said no. He should have said no. Good job so far.
A very good reason as to why he said no, because
No.
no, that's not how that works.
exactly. You don't just go, oh, I want a relationship. It's like, no, you find a character that I have, you motherfucker.
Yeah, you're not some radiant fucking beauty who he's just gonna see and fucking madly fall in love with. Like, no. Also, why a sailor boy? That's just weird. No, that's some ugh.
Well, we don't know the setting of the campaign.
He was a sailor boy. He said, see you later, boy.
Fucking damn it.
You know, I thought that in my head, and I thought that's what Zephyr was gonna say. I was like, oh, thank God he didn't do that.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. Fuck
And he had to fucking just sully my day. God damn you.
That's how I
Anyway.
get my sick kicks.
This arc came to a head when Belle's character decided to adorn a dead PC's body with a funeral flower from her own culture without asking. The dead character was an orc death cleric, being mourned by his wife and people after sacrificing himself for them. Naturally, this did not go over well with his grieving wife, seeing it as a grave, pardon the pun, insult to his god that Belle's character would try to invoke her own god instead.
As she should.
Makes sense now.
No, you don't
Spe-
cross
spe-
religions.
Especially what is probably an orc wife as well. Fucking angry woman. The wife argued with her, and other characters explained why this would be upsetting. Belle's character withdrew and avoided talking to anyone. Soon after, Belle approached the DM and arranged to retire her character so she could create a new one. Par for the course, she couldn't handle the fact that her character wasn't perfect and that something she had done with her own good intentions backfired on her because she wasn't being considerate of others. She felt her character was completely tainted by this mistake. Wanted a fresh start. Fair enough, I guess. I was happy to see this character go because she was boring and frustrating to deal with.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
goddamn, fuck, this is mean.
I'll be not wrong, though.
I mean, correct and fucking, complete right to say that, but Belle made a new character, one that was, by all accounts, very entertaining, and definitely not a Mary Sue. Things were looking up for a while. This character was a Southern Belle, hence the name, type, a high elf wizard. In this world, high elves are magical supremacists who created a cataclysm long ago that is slowly consuming the planet, and our party is traveling to recruit armies from different races to stop it. Belle's high elf was a high-born magical prodigy who left her conservative home to try and stop the cataclysm, despite the rest of her kin not believing it's a threat or caring about the fate of the other races. However, she still had a privileged background and had never known war or true conflict, and a very arrogant and uptight personality due to her upbringing. This was refreshing and fun, and we all enjoyed roleplaying with this character, slowly building a rapport and trust with her with time and familiarity. She saved us on multiple occasions with clever use of magic, and a couple of times we even got some backstory of relations from her, despite her tight-lipped demeanor. Okay, so, a single change and immediate improvement.
Yeah.
So, we've seen growth here.
It's good. It's good. This
Now-
is good.
One of this character's flaws was deliberately her lack of experience in combat. She was played frequently as being cripplingly afraid of being injured or KO'd, and often brooded about this during downtime RP whenever she was targeted. Many times, my character and others tried to reach out to her about this, sharing their experiences with danger and even offering that if she didn't feel she could handle it, she could always find other ways to help the cause elsewhere, off the front lines, obviously with the intent that she have a character arc where she figures out how to handle the prospect of danger. However, she rejected their attempts and played it off, but constantly mentioned whenever she could that her character was sulking and distant. It was obvious by this point that she only wanted attention for it, bringing to my mind her previous request to the DM about the sailor and his unrequited love for her character. It was beginning to become clear to me that she had an issue with being self-absorbed and craving admiration from others without reciprocation, to say the least, coupled with my observations out of character as well. We took this in stride, at least until we couldn't ignore it anymore. During our dungeon crawls, it became an increasing problem that she would hold off on using her spell slots, despite our best efforts at convincing her to help. At one point, the party was in a bad spot with some ambushing monsters that would
Nines,
grapple their
what do you
target.
like?
Oh God, fuck yeah. You little bastard. I'd almost forgotten about it.
Who?
Fucking
Nines.
nines.
Oh,
Motherfucker
fucking.
didn't use his spells and shit.
He didn't use his spells, not because he's afraid of combat, or because he was a fucking idiot. Because he
It's like-
didn't know how to play a cleric. I'm sure if he played a fighter, he would have been a great player. Unfortunately, he didn't.
Anyways. God damn you. At one point, I was in a bad spot with some ambushing monsters that would grapple their target, and half of any damage towards the monster would be transferred to whoever it had grappled. We were doing our
that's
best
mean.
to pry the creatures off one of our party members, but whenever Belle's turn came, she decided to do nothing. I even tried to help pry it off. Oh, y'all remember when I did that to you, Jacob?
Wait, what was that again? Sorry, I got lost in thought.
I fucking put a roper at the beginning of the fucking cave.
Oh yeah.
Warp.
You put the Skyrim cave that you fucking pulled on us. That whole day was hell for us. I hope you know, Griffin.
That roper was so easy to beat, and you all got fucking shit housed by
We
it.
fought a tooth monster.
He told us.
That the only way to beat it was to throw candy at it, which I didn't have, but I was the one who told them to throw the candy. Fucking 10 turns before they fucking did it. I had to deal with Mav in our fucking group chat, going, think I should hit the fairy?" She points up. Just said she was an combatant. Yeah, do you think I should give it a shot though? Whatever makes you feel better. I don't know. I'm fucking tired of explaining shit to you, Mav.
Be fair. There were other ways. It did also have a weakness to acid, but fucking
None of us had acid damage.
Had that naturally, but you know, it's a thing that I gave it like in general when I first came out with it. But you know, the main thing was like, yeah, you know, you get all this candy. A lot of it is related to the candy. It's supposed to be like not too difficult to fucking at least think of, and then that, you know.
No, I thought I missed the entire session beforehand.
Yeah. Oh. But fucking, it was just fucking. Oh god. Oh, that shit had me fucking crying, especially when fucking Booty threw it into the fire
Yeah.
instead of throwing it at the monster. Like, oh no, oh, he's not gonna throw the monster now, is he? Fuck. Oh
I can tell he said that and he's like, I should have thrown it at the monster first.
yeah. It's like, oh, goddamn. Anyways. We were doing our best to pry the creatures off one of our party members, but when Belle's turn came, she decided to do nothing, not even try to help pry it off, just held her action. This, of course, did not go over well, and our characters begged her to help to no avail. She said she didn't want to take the chance of messing it up. Fine then. We managed it by ourselves, and later, of course, a couple of our characters, including mine, brought it up with her, chastising her for being too afraid of failing to help, in character, of course. Our friend could have died because she didn't want to risk failing the strength check, which would have had minimal consequences. She went radio silent and made an excuse in character to stop talking to them, which of course rubbed them the wrong way. Later, in a huge final boss fight, she made a big show of using her last spell slot for something incredible, which turned out to be casting protection from good and evil on herself. A wizard, who hadn't even lost any HP yet, and was of course staying out of range. Obviously, it had no real effect.
Why is that her last spell slot? What? She hadn't done anything beforehand. Why is she low on spell slots?
Well, I presume she had used her spell slots during the fight. And like,
Yeah,
other stuff
that could be. Sure.
This is where things went south. Belle's character's prim attitude, entitlement, and lack of risk had earned her the nickname Princess via our Goliath Barbarian, who was known for impatience and rugged demeanor. The two characters had been hot and cold the whole time, having grown relatively close at one point and then distant more recently as Belle doubled down on her character's coldness and avoidance. Barbarian couldn't be more different as a character, growing up in a harsh wilderness, being taken and sold into slavery after a civil war, believing her husband had been killed during the battle, and only just discovering that he had survived. And very recently having lost more than half her people's population and their entire homeland to a magical elemental explosion, the finale of the arc was completed.
That seems familiar. I don't know why. Oh,
All I know is Big Woman.
Big woman.
big
During our
lady.
downtime, just after our last boss fight, the Barbarian made an offhand joke about Belle's character's cowardice, calling her princess again. Belle's character absolutely lost it. She stormed up to the Barbarian and began berating her, saying that she wasn't the only one who had lost things, and the Barbarian at least had her family and partner and the respect of her people, while Belle's character had run away from all her connections because of her beliefs. She said that just because her people were decimated didn't give her the right to call her princess. Belle continued going off in character for literal minutes on end, not letting the Barbarian get a word in edgewise. She basically revealed her entire backstory in one breath, citing how her character's fiancé was waiting for her back home and she couldn't be with him because of how she left, how her friend had gone mad after looking at the Cataclysm and was now imprisoned, how her family and everyone at home were so stilted that she could never trust them, how alone she always was, and how not even her prodigal, magic, or high-class status mattered now. From the way she was acting, and later confirmed, it was pretty obvious that Belle herself 100% believed she was justified, and that all of these things were proof that her character was just as if not more tragic than the Barbarians, which meant we should all stop making jokes about her being hoity-toity. Obviously, the Barbarian was aghast and enraged. Oh no. Having only just lost her home and people less than a month ago in game, she barely managed to begin arguing before Belle's character tried to storm off and get the last word. The barbarian blocked her exit to say her piece. She cited how selfish Belle's character had been and ripped her a new one about saying that the near extinction of the Goliaths mattered
How's life,
less
lady?
than Belle's character and having some personal problems with her family at home. She underlined the fact that yes, Belle's character is entitled and spoiled and deserves her nickname. Belle's character then managed to get away so she could sulk in another room by herself. We all treated this like an in-character argument, of course, because there was no explicit reason to think otherwise. It did, however, come across as very uncalled for that Belle's character would suddenly turn on the barbarian and say such nasty and callous things. She'd never done anything like that before. By the way she had monologued for several minutes and tried to leave with the last word, it was obvious enough that Belle had planned for it to be everyone's come-to-Jesus moment with her character, so that we would stop making fun of her character for being an unsupportive party member. I think she truly believed she was justified in what she was saying, and she had a very clear image in her head of how the interaction would go. But of course, the DM did not allow her to have the final word, as that would be unfair. After this, damage control commenced. My character and others talked with both the barbarian and Belle's character on multiple occasions, soothing their frustration some. Of course, it was clear to everyone that Belle's character was in the wrong and had to apologize and talk to the barbarian before we could move forward. Belle made a point to avoid the barbarian for several sessions until it was time for us to move to the next dungeon, where we made it plain that she had to apologize before she was allowed to come with us. It was at this point that Belle notified everyone that she would be taking a hiatus from playing for her mental health. She has historical issues with her home life that she claimed affected her ability to play the game, which is understandable to some extent. Dealing with an emotionally abusive parent explains a lot of her personal issues with insecurity. We know most of what goes on from out-of-character chats, so we can give her a break there, despite some of her more annoying habits in that realm, such as her constant excuses and pity party baiting. We told her she was welcome to come back anytime. This hiatus lasted for several months. We completed an entire arc without her before finally she decided to come back. We made it clear that we still expected an apology, and she dicked around for a few sessions talking to NPCs mostly and avoiding the issue. Having been loose friends with Belle for a few years now and a big proponent of healthy in-character conflict, I tried to step in and help, even bending my character's reactions a bit for the patience required to counsel her through it. My character listened to her concerns and backstory woes relating to her struggles with being ostracized and eventually tried to bring her around to apologizing to the barbarian for being so callous about her trauma, coaching her through taking the first step of her character arc toward being more considerate. At that point, Belle's character made an excuse and left the scene just like before. Finally, we were ready to leave for the next dungeon, and Belle tried to come along quietly with us by making an excuse that she was too tired out of character to finish the session, so she wouldn't be talking. The DM stopped the session instead, because like hell she was going to get away with being allowed to progress without talking to the barbarian like we agreed on. Instead, Belle said she was too scared to participate in party conflict because of her personal trauma, so she wanted to get out of it and pretend it never happened. The DM explained to her that this game supports party conflict to a certain extent, and that she is not protected from being held accountable for disagreements. It would be a disservice to roleplay to bandage her personal conflicts in character or to sweep them under the rug because she alone was uncomfortable. Barbarian's player also reached out to her to clear the air, highlighting that she wasn't angry at her out of character. She'd already talked to her about this before, and that this game is a safe place where no repercussions for in-character conflicts. It should be just for fun. It was as simple as apologizing, and then they could move forward. It had already provided her with plenty of reasons in character to do so, while making sure she felt heard in her character's backstory. To that, Belle announced that she would be taking another hiatus indefinitely. Barbarian, understandably frustrated, reached out again out of character to say that she felt hurt and vilified for her character being very realistically upset by the conflict Belle herself had started. The Barbarian's player has her own history of personal trauma and abusive family, and had shared some of it with Belle in the past to commiserate together. Although Pain Olympics is stupid, both of them have shared their personal traumatic experiences publicly with us. The Barbarian's abuse is far more extensive, a large family riddled with addiction, physical and emotional neglect, and physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. In contrast, only one parent was emotionally abusive to Belle and was no longer in the picture for her. Both of them were also actively in therapy for their issues. In their talks, Belle cited that she felt unsafe around the Barbarian, and that she was triggering her trauma with her parent by being angry at her in character. The Barbarian told her that was unacceptable, as everyone has been doing everything possible to cushion her fall so that they could move on with the game and include her, despite the fact that she had brought a contentious character into the game and then started the worst possible conflict out of nowhere. Belle immediately blocked her, left the game, and left our group server, only giving a final word to the DM about leaving for good because the game was unsafe for her. The DM expressed his disapproval about her lack of willingness to attempt conflict resolution for something so petty, but she ignored him. Instead, she went directly onto her Tumblr blog and made a post saying she wanted information on leaving a toxic friendship and how to deal with it. At least one anonymous person on the site, not anyone in our group I confirmed, challenged her on this, asking for more details, and she recounted the story on the grounds that the barbarian started the argument, was pursuing her aggressively and scaring her, and was making a big deal out of an in-character argument when Belle was just trying to move on. She said the barbarian was poisoning the group against her. Even the Anon told her it sounds like Belle was the common denominator in the entire group, if the entire group had an issue with her, in that she appeared to be avoiding accountability and just labeling her friends as toxic under the guise of trauma. Belle, for her part, said that she doesn't need criticism, she needs to focus on healing. From what I can tell, it sounds like Belle's insecurities make her feel less valid than the barbarians. I don't know if this is a typo or not. This actually might be intentional, so I'm going to read that again. From what I can tell, it sounds like Belle's insecurity makes her feel less #valid than the barbarians player due to the severity of her misfortunes, both in character and out of character. So she decided to try and play Pain Olympics in hopes that we would excuse her imperfections more readily.
I don't like how they keep saying Pain Olympics.
I don't either.
I prefer
She obviously has
Trauma
a serious
Olympics personally,
problem with perfectionism, and the fact that she couldn't even accept her own character's flaws as part of her willful design is pretty alarming. Ultimately, I feel sorry for her. She lost an entire friend group just because she was unwilling to apologize in character after months of hiatuses and therapy about the issue. I hope one day she figures herself out and stops trying to claw for attention constantly.
So,
0 out of 10, too long, newsletters.
that was very long-winded. I'm glad it was long. We got the whole full build-up.
Yeah, because I understand everything.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, fucking they were all toxic for each other.
Yeah, but also
that was just not a good group to be for either of them.
say that. Also, does anybody listen to this? Don't ever fucking play as I prefer to call it Trauma Olympics. It doesn't help anybody.
Yeah. Also,
everybody's fucking.
It's not Pain Olympics. Pain Olympics is some guy cutting off his dick and balls.
I say Pain Olympics is who can take the more pain physically.
They're trying to out trauma each other, and you can't compare traumas. You just can't.
Yeah.
Because everyone deals with shit differently.
There are 5 comments, and each one pisses me off.
Yeah, they're fucking. Well, there's 4. One's a mod comment. Or is there a 5th?
That one pisses me off so.
Yeah.
These sure are a lot of words.
Okay, there's another one.
Dick when you very much were. No, he wasn't. No.
No.
Not really.
That's about where I am with this. The elf explained her entire backstory and it wasn't justified at all. But the backstory is pretty justified. I'd be pretty peeved at the people calling me princess when the entire time I'm out there, I'm away from civilization and being able to actually live a life.
No.
Okay, here you go. If you act high, mighty, and shit, no matter what, you're gonna get called princess or your highness or some bullshit.
And
everyone's in the wrong.
It's called humility.
No, I'm not even gonna say that. No, you know what? Not everyone's in the wrong on this one. They could have handled it in a better way.
Some of them are more in the wrong than the others, but I think everyone handled it pretty shittily.
No, they didn't handle it perfectly.
I think the DM handled it the best. By saying no.
At the end of the day, they should just be like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna pretend that just didn't happen because this is getting us nowhere, and we're just gonna fucking move on. Because fucking, this is just dumb. Fucking, it's not getting us anywhere. That's what should have happened, and it didn't because you know what? The DM wanted to play things out in a realistic way, which I can respect the fucking desire for that. But fucking, I mean, hell, even the guy who fucking wrote it is trying to say like, yeah, and you know, I tried in character multiple times to help her in character fix the situation and even change my character's fucking in-game reaction to it so that, you know, he would actually be able to do it.
Yeah.
And fucking she just still wouldn't go along with it. Like, fucking, this is not a situation where it's like, oh, yeah, no, you're all awful. Like, no, it wasn't handled the best, and fucking there's multiple that can take blame for certain parts, but fucking she's not come out of this looking scot-free.
I'm not saying she wasn't the root problem or the root
I'm saying that to the
cause. Oh, I'm saying because I also said everyone's wrong, but also fucking everyone's wrong except the DM. They're wrong in very different ways, and one of them is vastly more wrong than the other. But all the rest.
19 paragraphs. She should have been dumped after paragraph 3. Some people have way too much patience. Well, you know, she said that she was going to make a new character, and they all said they enjoyed the character when it was made. So, no, you know, they.
How dare they give them another chance?
How dare people in 2022 be understanding and forgiving?
I think I read this months ago, but not sure if it was too long back then as well.
Shut up.
Fuck all these people. Mostly. That made my throat very dry. Zephyr, go scout while I get a drink, would you please?
Alright, I need a shower, and then I gotta end Icewind Dale tonight, so.
Oh,
Have
God, you have
yeah,
Icewind Dale
fun.
tonight?
Yeah.
Fun with that shit.
No wonder you're fucking here, you poor bastard.
Yeah. I'm gonna, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna become an RPG horror story.
How bad has it
No, there's a quest in Icewind Dale. Fucking spoiler alert. It's a dumb fucking quest. Like right away. So, in the town of Bremen, there's a plesiosaurus that an evil druid has cast Awaken on. And 9 times out of 10, this is not a quest that players are supposed to fight. It's not a combat quest. Because plesiosaurus in the water will fuck up the party. Doesn't matter what their level. They'll fuck them up. You're in their world. So but you have to sail out onto the Mare Dualden. Talk to this plesiosaurus. You talk to it. I mean, guess what? 9 times out of 10, no one talks to it. They fight it, and it fucks them up. And that's the quest they're doing.
How bad has Icewind Dale been?
We've had one session,
Oh,
but that one session made me want to gouge my ears out.
how bad was it? Give us your horror story.
So it's one of them's new, and he's playing the. I say this, not an affront to the LGBT community. He's playing the gayest bard I've ever seen. Like skips everywhere, like comically gay. Like, you know when Republicans they fucking just describe the pride rallies as, like, it's the most Republicanized pride rally person ever. Skipping everywhere, fucking
He's got a
being
tail
just
in
being
his ass.
extra. He talks like this, even though the guy has a similar voice to me. It's fucking annoying.
Fuck that.
And there's another guy who pretty sure uses his phone. Can't tell because you fucking can barely hear him anyway. And I'm deaf, so I can't fucking hear him regardless. 2 of the players are fine. The 2 female players are fine. One always has a fucking story, but it is what it is. I just tell her to shut the fuck up. So 2 of them are fine. The other 2 are fucking awful. Which is why I was gonna give it another session. Because, you know, that's... Unfortunately, we've had a few issues the last few Tuesdays, so the last session was, I believe it was the 2nd of August. No, it was in, let me look, it was the 9th. It was the last session. Also the first session. But, yeah, this is their last session. So I'm gonna be like, hey, 2 of you I fucking cannot stand. Yeah, so the other 2 of them are like, that's end it. Fucking end it.
You hit him with the hey, either straighten up or
I have not
fucking off.
found one that is, pair plays to play, only get to get kicked for cheating. Don't need to read that one. It just...
Oh, I already found one when you were on your Icewind Dale.
Okay.
Guest for a session throws a fit when he doesn't kill the party.
I saw that earlier, but
I need to know how this works.
I read this one before I leave.
Sure.
I gotta get my throat ready to talk as a dinosaur to kill party. A while ago, I was playing in a short campaign, 7 sessions total, and we had a guest player for 1 session. He played as a weak old man who didn't want to help the party but gave us a quest. It was obvious from the start that he was in disguise and was going to turn on the party at some point. What?
Wait.
Oh,
Run that
it's
by
not
me
good.
again? Run that by me again?
He played as a weak old man who didn't want to help the party but gave us a quest. It was obvious from the start that he was in disguise and was going to turn on the party at some point. What?
What? I think the whole
What?
point of a disguise is to not be obvious.
Now,
That's because you sniffed it out right away. It doesn't mean it was obvious, first of all.
now
Also-
I'm gonna need to read it again, but like not skip over the 5 sentences that must be missing from there because that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh yeah, I'll read it word for word, no breaks.
Yeah.
Right? Oh. He played as a weak old man who didn't want to help the party but gave us a quest. It was obvious from the start that he was in disguise and was going to turn on the party at some point.
Oh, okay, so this guy's just a fucking jackass. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't my inability to read, it was his inability to give context.
This wasn't Zephyr being a dumbass. This was
I
actually.
know. I'm looking at the fucking story. I'm fucking with him.
Yeah.
It's just like
The guest player tried. God fucking damn it. Learn to fucking type, dipshits. The guest player tried to be at the center of attention for the rest of the session. He had an extremely long backstory that he aggressively forced into conversation to the point that he was reading it off the screen to us. It more or less was a basic Batman backstory with a dead family, really not worth 20 minutes of exposition. Dead family, does that just mean basic Batman? Oh, my family died, I'm Batman now.
well, no, he probably means that
I
like
probably had more into it.
it's
but-
probably like a Batman scenario. Like, oh, yo, now I fucking do blah blah blah.
Okay.
That fa-
I was made to be feared once, so I'm
When
gonna make it really real.
it gets better, it gets steamier. I think, I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
When we took a bathroom break in the middle of the session, the guest player cornered the only girl in our group while her boyfriend was in the bathroom. He pressured her into communicating over Facebook Messenger, god damn it, assuming to hide it from his own girlfriend after the session. It was really weird and cringy. Oh, it was getting steamy. At the end of the session, he revealed himself to be an evil wizard and attacked the party. The paladin in our party was standing right next to him and hit him with a crit smite on the first round of combat, killing the guest NPC. The guest player immediately looked at the DM and said, "Yeah, that would kill me. You need to do something about this." The group awkwardly laughed for a moment before we realized the guest was serious and upset. The DM nervously said, "Oh, okay, we can just double your HP. Go it down!" I could see the paladin deflate after his epic round was more or less undone. Yeah, that's a fucking dick move. First off, if you're gonna have a guest PC, they're not evil. They're not against the party. No. That's stupid. Also, none of your players' backstory should ever be like, "Oh, I'm actually working for the BBEG and I'm gonna turn on the
Well,
the
here's
party."
the thing. Here's the
That's
thing.
stupid.
You can do like a guest like fucking like villain type thing if you fucking want, but they have to be someone who's aware. Like, yeah, you're here to get fucking killed.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing.
Also,
Yeah,
you have
because
to talk
you're
over-
guest.
You as the player have to talk that over with the DM as well and set that up. Because like, I've seen, what was it? This is Joker I want, but I did listen to this podcast for a while. But the Dungeons and Daddies podcast had that where they had a guest player come on, and they had it set up where that was going to be a villain and be a fight at the end of it. But also, I've like the only time it ever works, in my opinion, with like betrayal, is either they betrayed immediately, it's obvious, it's all for a laugh, it's for some fun, and haha, remember that time, or it's an actual player who's with it and does not betray them until the very last second.
I'm not a fan of PCs betraying other PCs, especially in a long-term campaign. Like, oh, we just fought from level 1 to level 20. We're gonna go fight the BBEG. We've been here for 3 years. And the other guy's like, "Oh yeah, I'm evil now. Fuck yourselves."
I think if you
That
build it up,
feels like a waste of 3 years.
I think if you build it up correctly, then it's
Which I think very rarely can be done.
yeah. Like
I think the majority of groups are not going to do that.
I think the only time I've ever seen it like actually built up as a story, I remember where it was a wizard who was openly against the gods as entities, and literally
That's
the
retarded.
entire campaign was him convincing the rest of the party to join him in his ideology, and they actually made the entire campaign pretty much that. So like it,
That's different. That's completely different.
yeah, like I said, like there
That's
was
not
actually
one player turning against the party. That's the one party.
yeah,
One player turning the party onto his point of view.
fair enough.
Two different things. The one player just turning last session and be like, "Ah, fuck you guys. Now I fight you." That's no. Fuck yourself. Anyway, there's still more. About a round later, another player knocked out the evil guest PC. Fuck you, get fucked.
God
You're
damn
a
it!
fucking wizard. You're not gonna fucking survive.
Yeah.
No ass.
This PC still seemed upset by it and started rolling hidden death saves. The party then cleaned up the minions over the next round. When it came back to the guest's turn, he said, "I rolled my 3 saves, so from the ground I cast Dimension Door to a place where you can't get to me." So he just rolls 1 death save.
You should have only rolled one.
Yeah, because it just said the next round. So you should only roll 1, so you get fucked. You didn't roll 3.
No, I rolled 3.
Also, real quick, what the fuck is a hidden death save?
I mean, he just didn't say anything. He just rolled in quiet, rolled in secret. Meaning he hid it.
Gotcha.
Which
And-
means he didn't roll it, he just said he
Yeah.
did.
I'll say, like at first, to me, it sounded like he was
Oh,
rolling
like he
behind
was
the
like-
screen without saying anything, just like one
He
after the other.
definitely rolled them. He just didn't announce any of it or show it to anyone, and then determined that he succeeded, as
Yeah.
we'll see in the next line.
And that was the end. No satisfying. Sorry. I rolled my 3 death saves. So from the ground, I cast Dimension Door, place where you can't get to.
Which, no, you don't.
I don't.
Unless you have like a fucking like a little hidey hole, you know, like 300 or so fucking feet underground, like directly below you that you know the location of. No, you don't.
And that was the end. No satisfying conclusion. The DM got pressured and bullied by his guest friend and never corrected him. How did he roll 3 death saves in 1 round? What was the point of him having to escape if the character was never coming back? Why is he so upset the party won when he was playing the villain?
If you
This
want
was-
more info on NASCAR standings and statistics,
Shut up. This was my first experience with that guy, player. Technically, he knew all the rules and role-played well, but he wanted to win more than anything and cheated and pressured the DM to get his way. He wanted to be the main character in a group he was a guest in. He was also a creep to the only girl in the group. I'm glad he was only there for 1 session. Okay, here. First, top comment. Your DM was easily manipulated. Glad to hear it. To hear from the comments that he's grown since then. So, fair. And your guess was ridiculous. But to me, the silliest part was that the guest didn't even understand the rules of the game well enough to cheat properly. You can't roll multiple death saves in 1 round. You don't wake up when you do, and Dimension Door doesn't put you out of reach. It has a pretty short range at 500 feet, but so the party could have tracked him down. Next part is like, I cast Dimension Door somewhere the party can get to me. Cool, you teleport 500 feet downwards, you become crushed by the earth you teleported into, as well as suffocate, you're dead.
I forced Chow to have a magical recording.
Oh,
yeah,
is that
we
where?
talked about this.
Okay. Is that where? Why does she have that many charisma feats?
I
Fuck yeah.
don't know. She took every fucking one that gave her more spells. I don't know why.
Like, 1,
Also, I'll have you know,
Chowie does
she
not
even
need
messaged
Elder
me.
Slash. He's never gonna fucking hit it with it.
She even messaged me. It was like, yeah, you know, with the feet, I'm not even sure what feet I'm gonna take. You know, like, I mean, there's plenty of good feats, and then fucking she just does that.
Oh, fucking eloquence bard. Didn't take good eloquence feat. I'm gonna message her.
It's an eloquence warrior that wanted an instrument as well, hence why she's getting a fucking accordion. She can't say no. Fucking, she has it now.
I just message her. We need to talk about the feats you took. She has eye bite. That's kind of cool. Let's see what Redmont took at fucking 11th level.
I didn't think anything was Wally. Wally creature.
Oh yeah. He has speak with plants now. I don't know if he had that before, but he can speak with plants.
Oh, he might have just got that because he gets spells as well. Oh my god, this one's fucking...
How often do you play
Oh, this
D&D?
one's fucked.
Oh
Zephyr?
Jesus. Look, I just want to hit a few Eldritch Blast to break the curse.
Zephyr.
But what's with the other 4 fucking charisma feats?
Zephyr, how many days a week do you play D&D?
Right now, it depends on the week.
Okay, at the most. Like,
No,
Most
you only
5.
play.
5 days?
Oh, I only play... No, I only play 2.
Okay, only play... No, okay.
You
You know,
DM the rest, though.
No,
I DM the
like, what days are you involved in a D&D session? There you go.
It'd literally be... I don't play on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Gotcha.
It's soon to be Tuesdays.
Some of us have luck in this hobby, Jacob. I'm sorry.
God motherfucking damn it.
To be fair,
genuinely
I
am
run
sorry.
3 of them. So...
Yeah. I told
And
Griffin
the other
this.
2 are... I made him fucking do the pirate campaign.
I told Griffiths, but I tried to get my online group back together, and I was like, "Hey, are you guys free this Saturday?" And I got one person going, "Well, parents are doing renovations on our house."
Oh.
The other one's
This
going,
fucking...
the one's like, "Oh, I'll be out of town." I was like, "God damn it!" And then nobody else responded. I was like, "Motherfucker."
Let me hit you with this. Someone asked, "Are we still D&Ding today?" I was like, they say that every Tuesday. Granted, every time it's like, no, fuck no. I was like, as far as I'm aware, I really don't want to, but we will. And then someone's like, I'm alive for D&D today. Then someone said, I'm down for some D&D. And then an hour ago, someone said, nice, I'm down as well. That's why. I asked them one time, what are you guys thinking? Every time they're like, whatever y'all find best, that's what I'm down to do. Well, I'm chill either way. It's like, no. You get, if people say that shit, like, oh, it's whatever, like, I'll just go with the party. I'm, from now on, that is a no.
That's why I got fucking pissed off at goddamn Jinx saying, "Oh yeah, I'll just take whatever's left over." No, you fucker. I asked you all to make the list because I'm trying to fucking
My homework.
formulate
Yeah.
this in a way that'll keep people happy. Don't just fucking take the leftovers. You fuck.
No, from now on, if you pussyfoot around the answer, it's a no. No, yep, I don't care, it's a no. Also,
That's
you wanna know something real fucking fun?
Fucking lay down the law.
You wanna know something real fucking fun?
It's a fun fact, isn't it?
Because I felt kind of bad for constantly canceling session on him. And, you know, I'm going to end it anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Said, due to all this, you guys can level up. Alright? Said that last week.
Yeah.
Guess how many of them leveled up?
Hold on.
I have 4 players.
Hold on. None.
Nope.
1?
2 of them.
Oh, it's actually more than I expected.
2 of them leveled up. Oh, wait, did I not take Warcaster? Chowie, the fuck? You just...
What?
I asked her, I was like, what's with the other 4 charisma feats?
Mind you, I would have explained this to her, but she just fucking took them. And I didn't care enough, so she's gonna be there for 2 fucking sessions to even ask about it. Because I don't care enough to fucking ask about it. She's gonna be there for 2 sessions.
Fucking weird. Why? Why do you need all the charisma? You're a bard. Don't need more spells.
You rolled fucking, according to you, good stats. You didn't need them for the bonuses.
She rolled very good stats. 12, 18, 16, 16, 14, 20. But it was actually an 18.
Fucking, hold on, fucking, discussing the character with her. Fucking, this. Oh, dear.
Said wow. You dumb fucking bitch.
Fucking, because she asked me to tell her, like, hey, like, exactly what am I doing? So
I'm a
that
charisma character.
create a
Oh, god damn it. Chowie.
semblance of a backstory. And I was like, I had to think of it for a while because I actually wasn't sure exactly what you all were doing yet. And I did. Fucking instead of wait half a fucking hour in a parking lot. And I gave it to her and said, okay. Can I be a servant for the noble where he borrowed me from some other noble? I'm thinking of a lower level Varys from Game of Thrones type character.
God damn it, Charlie.
Kept on payroll to play toot toot on the flute as well as gather info. Which I don't like that fucking phrase. I don't like that at all.
Hey, you ready? But she fucking messaged me.
And naturally, I don't watch bad television shows, so I've never seen Game of Thrones. I never fucking know what that character is. Not correct. And she fucking said, I looked it up and I found out he's just some fucking fat, bald eunuch. So I said, you want to be a fat, castrated, bald man? And she said, no, I want to be hot, as always. Her first character was a fucking hag.
Yeah. You don't have a single...
The fuck does that even mean? I should just fucking say, you see like a fucking... It's like a 5'4".
Did you ask her why her
colored goblin.
human has a fucking ears like that?
No, because I know I know exactly the response I'm gonna get. I'm gonna ask and she's gonna be like, oh, I just like the picture. And I'm just not gonna fucking... I'm gonna be angry. I know that's the answer.
Just message me. That's like, you mean you have a 5 charisma in real life? So you mean a +5? I have a 5 in constitution and a 3 in strength. It's like, you don't have a single positive modifier. Shut up, Callie.
God damn her. At least she's helping, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
At least we like her enough that her weird shit's okay.
Well, I did fucking directly say, no weird shit.
Yeah.
Like I had to get real fucking tight on that one.
Not
And this bitch,
I guess I'm just surviving on good rolls.
let me see where I fucking said, do be a legacy race and you'll like it, damn it. And she fucking sends me a screenshot of the Kenku with legacy tag next to it.
God damn it. Didn't
But
Joe want to
Steven
play
was
a
her next
Kenku for a
choice.
while?
Yeah, that's
No,
what almost
she
ended
put
the fucking
Kenku because she knows it would piss
started.
both of us off.
No, I know that's why she did, but no,
Yeah.
fucking Joe, his first character wanted to be a fucking Kenku. And I kept fucking telling him, no, you can't be a Kenku for your first goddamn character. Because one, already
don't
put
talk.
out parameters to you all, has to be player's handbook. Two, I don't want the fucking hassle running that. Three, it's a dumb character idea anyways. And he was very adamant about it. And literally, the campaign almost didn't make it off the ground because I remember what it was. I was walking fucking back to my car, top of the fucking ODU fucking parking complex, and I literally texted them, listen, all right, this is an end-all be-all type of situation right now, right? You can either play your fucking stupid Kenku character and keep to that bullshit, and then we just not do this, or you can be a little bit fucking sensible, keep things easy on yourself and me for our first times fucking doing this, and pick something out of the handbook. And a few months later, he's like, you know what? Right? I'll make something else. And then we're good. Because sometimes all you have to do is say no in a firm manner.
I mean, I'll usually be like, hey, can I
Now
play?
he has Yerg.
At least whenever I'd be like, oh, can I play my Dreader? I'll usually ask once, and then I'm just like, all right, cool, you don't want me to play it. All right, oh well, I'll play something different.
So, I don't know if this is good or bad.
Oh no, I already found the next one. Fucking.
They got rid of the restriction that Kenkus can't speak. Kenkus can speak now.
That's retarded.
That's what I'm saying. I can't say if it's good or bad because one, that was kind of the whole lore behind Kenku.
It's the whole point of being a race. Now they're just fucking bird folk.
And two, but on the good hand, it gets rid of that dumb fucking gimmick. That's annoying.
Now, counter argument. I'm gonna say this is wholly bad for two reasons. All right. One, they've taken out a fucking established lore thing that actually made them a unique race, which just dummies down the whole fucking thing and has
They still have
presumably
mimicry, by
no
the way.
good reason to it. But here's the thing, though. The second reason is because you can bet yourself
Grab one of these. Come on.
that
So,
the majority of people who ask to fucking play one are still gonna ask to fucking communicate like that.
Uh,
And they're not going to accept that they can just speak normally. That's my issue. Anyways, back to the stories at hand.
I was gonna say though, to be fair, you can still as a DM go, oh hey, mimic only.
Or even better, no, you can't play a Kenku.
yeah, or you just say, no, no Kenkus.
I'm gonna check my strong bullet real quick, and then I'll read. Hello, I will psychologically profile your players.
Yep, I'm gonna listen. I need a shower for session. I'm not going to. 2 of them are offline. No give a fuck. Jacob, can I apply to a bunch of games as you,
Why?
but just make you like play a character? Like you have to play the character. You have to at least go to the interview, right? Or at least message this person.
So you just want me to be dumb as shit?
I'll give you the parameters of who you are going to be. We used to do it to Matt. Me and Gaines used to do it to Mav all the time, and Mav was like, I'm not playing this campaign. It's like, no shit, dipshit. You're just gonna play this fucking... You're just gonna go along with it for a while. They're not gonna pick you.
So you just want me to be an insane person, but different flavors of insane each time?
One time, Genghis said, Mav, don't need to ask any questions, but you're a black trans woman right now. And Mav was like, no. It's like get mad. If Genghis would have told me that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess I'm playing a black. All right, let's go. Who am I talking to? Let's fucking go. And then I would turn my camera, and they would see pasty white. Like, oh, like, yeah. That's the trans part.
I'm transracial.
Is that a thing?
Yes. Yes.
God fucking
There
damn
are
it.
there are people who will get their skin artificially
Yep.
dyed and shit, like black, or
No.
go through multiple surgeries in order to like appear more Asian and shit. It's horrible. I hate it. There's also, have you heard about the trans disability people?
It's trans disability.
There are people who will literally like chemically blind themselves and then be like, I'm trans disability.
Trans disabled.
Yeah,
Todd?
trans disabled.
Trans disabled people are cutting off their limbs to become disabled by choice. See, I want to cut off a limb just because I want a prosthetic.
Yeah, like one of those cool ass prosthetics.
Yeah, but not because I like want to identify as a disabled person. I just want a peg leg. Man.
You know, there was a woman who literally
Oh,
just
what?
like poured chemicals in her eyes till she was blind.
So, is being transabled is what they call it. Is being transabled a mental illness? Yes.
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 You're actively wanting. It's not.
I
It's
think
not even in the same realm as would it be, was it transgendered? Yeah, transgendered.
like I think this
I
I
don't know
think
why, my brain just did not want to, because I was gonna say trans. It's like, no, that's the prefix to all these fucking
I
shit.
think the,
It's not even the same realm as that. Like that.
I think trans disabled like more than meets the danger to self or others
Yeah.
clause
You're
of
wanting to
involuntary internment into a mental asylum.
People say, trans people, they want to just mutilate their bodies or just become who they are. It's like, not really mutilating their bodies, but fucking whatever.
Surgically alter. There's a difference.
Surgically alter. These dipshits want to, for the sole purpose of they want to be disabled. They believe that I believe I'm blind,
Well,
so I'm
it's
gonna
like-
make my.
It was like
No, you're not blind
well, it's
because
like
you
the
can
kids-
fucking see.
It's like the kids who fake disabilities on TikTok. You heard about that shit?
Wow.
Like the one motherfuckers who
These
be like,
people
who'd be like,
fucking
oh,
shit.
I have Tourette's or I have ADHD, and they'll just sit there and like flail their arms around and say like that was a tick from my ADHD, and I'm like, and me sitting here, someone who was actually
I'm
properly clinically diagnosed by multiple professionals with ADHD. No, That's not ADHD, my friend.
Dude, the worst part is, as someone with actual PTSD from war,
Yeah, yeah.
people that sit there and be like, "Oh, it's just my PTSD acting up." It's like, why? Because one told at one point in life, like, what was so traumatic that you're being a dick shit right now? What? I
My
want to read you
parents-
2 paragraphs that
my-
would piss you right the fuck off.
My
God,
parents
yes.
used to yell at me when I got in trouble, and that gave me PTSD. So did everybody else.
My mom gave me a black eye one time because I wasn't paying attention and we were playing catch, so she just fucking beamed one to my head.
Yeah.
Woody got beat so hard that he shit himself.
Dude,
I
So-
just find that funny.
I just found out that transabled is a thing. It's people that
Yeah.
want to, yeah. And I googled it, and I got this paragraph. These 2
Read it,
paragraphs
read
will
it.
piss you off. Is being transabled a mental illness?
Yeah,
Doctors who-
I'm gonna
Yes.
give you a fucking bit of a spoiler here. I know about this. I know what you're gonna fucking. It's not a
Doctors-
shock to me.
Who hear a patient confess to being transabled are often confused or uncertain how to deal with it. They may dismiss the complaints as a symptom of psychosis, but that's not always the case. No, it's always the fucking case. Transabled people have been known to cause themselves harm in order to become disabled. It's not unheard of for them to intentionally damage their eyes, break their legs, or become paralyzed. These people are often pushed further into their disability by doctors who tell them there's nothing wrong with them. This can only make the problem worse and has led to many transabled people becoming suicidal over time. The best course of action is to help these people without judging them. No, the best course of action is to tell them, hey, nothing fucking wrong with you. Like, there's nothing physically wrong with you. Your brain's fucked up, right? It's like the people that think they're dead. It's Cotard syndrome.
Or the
They actively think they're
You
dead.
mean retard system?
No, it is an actual syndrome.
Phantom
Uh,
pregnancy, similar thing.
No, it's people that believe they died and they're just happen to be still.
Like,
Their bodies are like,
the mentality
Richard Chase?
behind it is similar to like women
Yeah.
who deal with
Rich-
phantom or cryptic pregnancy.
No. The difference is
Chase
that
was
phantom
one.
and cryptic pregnancies are a lot fucking sadder.
Yeah. The original frontman of Mayhem was one until he killed himself.
It seems about right for a band of that sort.
Yeah. Guess what his stage name was?
Dead guy?
Dead.
Halfway there.
He actively believed he was dead. He would bury his clothes before shows and like dig them up like a day before a show or something, dig them up so he could get that freshly buried scent to it. I wish I was making that up. I gotta go fucking run. Icewind Dale.
You do that. Hello. I will psychologically profile your players. DM. Using a throwaway smiley face. I, 26 female, have a Wednesday campaign that I run for. They're not capitalizing a single I. God fucking damn it. That I run for some friends, and I decided to invite a couple new people to round out the group. I posted it on the LFG subreddit, as you do, and ended up interviewing a couple people. There was this one guy who was great on paper. We'll call him Quill. Quill seemed like a nice guy, and he was very into RP, so I invited him to meet with everyone else already in the group. Thank fuck I did, because that's when things started to take a turn. First, there was some general social awkwardness, easy to deal with, but overall, people got along. He was sycophantic, specifically towards the women and non-binary of the group, and gave them a multitude of compliments, making sure that they weren't spoken over or condescended to by the one male player, which would be fine in, like, a normal group of strangers, I guess. But this group Quill joined had been friends for years. We played together in several games, and having been around them for, like I said, years, I can safely say Quill was seeing issues where there were none. Additionally, he spoke positively about robbing people in the past in real life. He seemed to find it funny, which we found concerning, to say the least. Anyways, the conversation with Quill ends, and about 20 minutes later, he DMs me apropos of nothing. Here's the gist. It was a long message. Jesus fucking Christ. Male player is garrulous, talks over people, and seems to want to explain things. Doesn't seem to understand some cues. Non-binary player is lovely, and seems to have a clear direction of the social environment she wants to create. misgenders them. He didn't know they were he, they, so not necessarily his fault, but I feel it gives some insight into his thought process. No, it doesn't. He didn't know. If he doesn't know and they didn't say it, which
Yeah.
would provide that he doesn't know, and odds are they probably sound like a female, then that's not on him.
Yeah,
That's no
no,
insight
like,
to his thought process. Fucking, that's just natural.
I mean, it's one thing to be like, I can be one of those people that's, I'm one of those people that's like, if I know I'm in a group that's heavily leans for that shit, I will always default to go to them because I'm just one of those people that isn't gonna go out of my way to try to be like, oh well, if it offends you, oh well, I just didn't know. Like, I'm not one of those people, but like, if that's how you default, it's how you default.
And here's the thing: if they're wrong, correct them. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
We're good now. You didn't tell me before, so I had no way of knowing. So fucking
Which
that.
most of the people in that community that I know are like, hey, hey, here you go. Here, like, if you mispronounce, I'm like, oh, no, it's actually this. And if you keep doing it, they're like, yo, I said it was this. And then they usually, I've had them probably like, oh, sorry, didn't catch that, my bad. But just be nice
Regardless.
about it. Be genuinely nice to people.
Female player definitely loves talking, but also seems to not see some cues as well. I sense they're willing to impose. This group seems emotionally stable, functioning, and very patient with each other and me. I'll let you know. I have a timer for male player, and since he talks over people, I feel it's alright to talk over them. At this point, I can't really ask, but I wonder if there's some kind of ND, and I'm just going to assume the best that male players hyper self-aware neurodivergent.
That is
NB
term
player is a
I
brilliant breath of fresh air.
hate.
She seems to be very strong socially and emotionally. Female player, some talk just to talk behavior. She throws things out, and I see evidence of unreturned attention. I see myself navigating around male players' ramblings, which is a light cost of patience, and will probably be enabling NB player and occasionally female player. I see myself pushing around to get male player to speak narratively about himself rather than abstractly or instructively, which can seem condescending. Is there a role in this group that would be helpful for you? Entire message. Hyper self-aware neurodiver. You mean that thing that doesn't fucking exist? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Got it. Neurodiver. Fucking Christ.
As someone who I guess would fit the bill, are like, oh,
No.
you're neurodivergent. No, you're just a fucking human being.
You know what you are, Jacob? You're a fucking weird guy.
Yeah, no, I'm like I said, like technically would fit what they call is neurodivergent. No, and no,
Well.
it's not an excuse for any faux pas you make. By the way, I've seen people be like, well, I'm this or you're that, so that's why they did. No, it's not an excuse for. Oh, this is no. Fuck off. Sorry, but as someone who is doing their best to, they're almost to improve themselves right now, your I would say your conditions are not an excuse for you not to better yourself. There you go.
Well.
Sorry.
At least you're doing a good job of it, Jacob.
Yeah. Like tomorrow before you guys get here, I'm gonna work some of my room and get this bed taken apart finally. But yeah. Anyways, go on.
Regardless. This message was pretty strange to me. I never expressed any interest in hearing what he thought about the group or if he had any misgivings. We had literally finished speaking 20 minutes before this message, so I asked for some clarification on if he thought there would be issues in the future. Back to the message. Or to the next message. Yeah, I just wanted to be upfront. I don't foresee any issues with what I would do. I think in large that's sort of the strategy that everyone's already adopted, which is being patient with rambling. If male player feels othered by me talking over him, even though he talks over others. That's my only worry, but male player doesn't seem like someone with aggressive tendencies. It doesn't feel good to be condescended to or to talk over others. This made me pretty uncomfortable. It sounded like the campaign was starting off with intra-player issues, and we hadn't even had a session 0 yet. I was curious about how deep this psychoanalyzing went, so I asked if he had one about me. He did. Here it is.
Ew.
To start off horrible.
You were/are lovely, brave, and confident. You seem to have experience with the table and all the social aspects that follow and inspired confidence in me that you are capable of saying no. You like your friends, although sometimes it feels like you either can bite off more than you can chew, or your confidence varies. Yesterday's DM is not tomorrow's DM.
This.
You value a poker face, not revealing your cards. That's my cold call.
This sounds
Ugh.
like the most
Fuck.
soy jack fucker.
It's just. It's so fucking weird.
It's weird.
No,
I like
Don't-
it.
don't say those things.
Ever.
If you for some reason do the above messages and then you're asked if you have one about you, don't say that. Just lie and say you don't.
No.
Don't
You're
Don't
not
do
gonna.
that.
You're not gonna get the pussy by.
don't do that.
You're not gonna get the pussy by
Oh,
claiming a woman's
God.
ego. I'm sorry. Well, okay, no, that's the thing. You might.
After
What?
speaking with my friends about the messages, I ended up kicking Quill from the game. I sent him this final message. This is their message. Jesus. To be honest, I've spent the day thinking about your psychological profile in the party, and I have to say this message was incredibly presumptuous and rude. Putting aside that they're some of my closest friends, even doing this in a group of complete strangers would be grounds enough to be immediately kicked. Not sure if you make this sort of thing a habit, but I would recommend thinking twice if you do. If you've been kicked without warning before in games where you've done this, that's probably why. Not only is it immediately stressful for the DM, but it puts a pall on the entire game going forward, because there will always be on the lookout for potential intra-party issues. Everyone has their quirks. That's something you need to understand when joining games with strangers. Some people talk a lot. Some people like to explain things. Some people are quiet. That's just how it is. People aren't always going to get along, and that's completely fine. Not everyone will like each other, but cataloging how well you get along with someone after a single interaction is setting your group relationships for failure. TLDR, don't join a TTRPG group. Psychologically profile the players and send that profile to the DM. Edit, he did apologize, so silver linings to the whole situation. I always dread potentially hurting someone's feelings, but in this instance, I felt like I needed to say something regardless. Glad that there was at least some good that came of it.
Also, okay, another PSA. If you have to say something to someone, okay, if you have something to say to someone that you know they need to hear, but you're scared that it's gonna hurt their feelings, don't be. It's needed. Then what the growth they're gonna have from hearing it will far outweigh the hurt they feel from hearing it.
God damn, that is just. That is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever fucking read.
What?
Just the whole thing.
Oh, just.
But I do find it funny. Yeah, I do also find it funny that his first line about the fucking DM ended with, "Oh, inspire confidence in me that you are capable of saying no." The first thing I thought was, yeah, she's about to say no to your dumb ass. Fucking. Guess you were right on that call, and only that one. Oh, God. It's so fucking awful. That's awful.
I kind of hate that. I hated that. I hated that dude. You can tell that was a terminally online motherfucker.
Yeah.
That is a terminally online, deep in all the different ideologies, whatever the fuck you want to call it, motherfucker.
Ooh. This is a short one. There probably won't be much to discuss about it, but it's interesting. We can probably segue into it a little bit. Today I fucked up by not stepping in when a PC cast a spell on a PC. I just fucked totally up and need to get it out of my system, and I hope that other people don't make the same mistake. After a big fight, the players got a room full of loot and some magic items. Since the gold was an altar room in a Greek mythology setting, the paladin didn't want to anger the god by stealing their sacrifices. After a lengthy discussion, the warlock cast suggestion on them, and I didn't think about it and let it slide. I was a bit tired, but that's not an excuse for something that should not happen ever. So the paladin player dropped the game, which I totally understand. Oh, fuck, that's it? Oh, okay, that was fucking shorter than I thought it would be. Yeah, simple lesson there. You don't let him do that. Just no. Don't do it. And don't do it as a player. Don't try to pull that shit. It's not okay.
Yeah. There she is, finally.
I mean,
Finally.
I've been here for a minute. I've been here for a minute, but
I'm gonna be honest, fucking you went silent mode on me again, Jake. I got real fucking worried.
I have push to talk on now, so if I have to address chat, you guys don't hear me.
You little weirdo. What the fuck? What the fuck? The fuck? Hold on.
Yeah, no.
Fucking.
We're just chilling now while I grind in Final Fantasy, talking about D&D horror stories, cringing together.
What? Fuck. I'm trying to get a gist for what the fuck. There's one that's just like Discord screenshots and fucking. There's no prior context to what the fuck was happening, so it doesn't make any sense.
Gotcha.
Like it just starts in with like the first like objectionable line, and fucking there's no clarification as to what the fuck is the issue. Ugh, god damn it. Okay, I'm gonna find the next good one. Check on my goddamn scroll. Should be almost done. Really done.
Come to find out, it's the transcripts from that one argument I had with the D&D group where I actually played the Jider.
I did check. Your name did not appear.
Good. Yeah, that was a horror story in and of itself. I guess I could tell that because I don't think I've ever told that on stream. Or if I did, it was lost to time.
Oh, this one's removed. The title said "Player poops pants, ends campaign to cover it up."
Aww.
But it was a link to another fucking subreddit where the story was posted, and that got fucking removed. So that one's lost to time now. Damn it. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay. Yep. This one's gonna annoy you. Okay.
Oh boy.
Toxic group whose TM specifically hated rogues. D&D 5e. They specified the system, which I actually appreciate. But I'll be right back. They'll get into this, and oh boy, it's all about rulings, Jacob.
Oh boy.
geez.
Oh, no, so how has your day been, Marie?
I have been all over the fucking place today.
I know. You're like, oh yeah, I'll be back by 3:30. Then you're like, oh no, I'll be back by 4:30. And then it hit 7 o'clock.
And I was like, I'm here now.
Ooh, dinner is ready. I might step away to grab a plate real quick. Alright, I will be right back then. Let Griffin know if he comes back beforehand, because I am on push to talk, so I won't be able to hit the talk button.
Okie dokie.
I think he's in the shower right now. Unless Nana's home. I said unless Nana's home, because someone's in the shower.
Oh, okay. Okay, Stromboli is acquired and bisected. All right.
Jacob's not here right now.
God damn it! Oh, son of a whore. Fucking, let me fucking this little bash with this push to talk. Twitch. .tv. Fucking. So I can keep an eye in case shit goes down. Fucking. It's a fucking be right back screen up. God damn it. Son of a bitch. All right. Oh, goddamn. Let me reread this fucker.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. I swear. All right.
You upset me so greatly, Jacob. But, oh God. That was a lot of
Also, let me
words.
unhide Marie's picture on my stream.
Yeah, I was like, where the fuck am I?
behind
Where am I?
behind the schlong himself.
So, God damn it. I read a little bit. It's fucking bad. And again, specified D&D 5e system, both familiar with. So we know how these rules should work, and granted, DMs are allowed to alter the rules to whatever their needs require. But some things are unreasonable. I just want an outlet to vent about a past D&D experience. This was around 5 years ago. This was posted 4 days ago for time clarification. DM had some kind of homebrew rules for rogues. I ran 2 sessions of one-shots with this group. First game, level 1 characters. For context, Barbarian was the DM's GF, and I was pretty fresh to D&D 5e. Okay, so the fellow probably doesn't know all the rules perfectly well. Himself, at least. God damn it. First encounter.
Encounter.
Me. This is no you. Me. DM. Can I use my short bow to attack enemy while staying in the back line? DM. Sure, but you roll with disadvantage because you were trying to hit an enemy who was already engaged the barbarian who was in the way. Me. God, fuck off, quick driver update. Me. For sure. DM. I rolled 15 plus. Not exactly sure what I rolled to gauge. Does it hit? DM. Oh no. Because you scored between the hit value and the cover bonus from Barbarian, you instead hit Barbarian. Me. Oh. Damn. Dual-wielding Barbarian basically carried the game with free action rage. Free action rage? Fucking what?
Is rage is a bonus action, right?
Yeah, rage is bonus action. There's nothing that changes that.
Yeah.
Nothing
Unless
officially.
unless the DM changed that. In which case, like,
Well, obviously he did. Fucking.
but,
Probably because it was his girlfriend.
yeah. I'm just trying to think now. How I'm trying to think of any bonus action that has it honestly giving. Personally, I don't think having having free action as a raid would really fuck up anything except for your opening move.
Well, the thing is, it depends upon how you're playing it and what you're doing. It's like in their case, being that they were dual wielding, that does fuck up their first move because their first attack they have to take a bonus action to rage, so they just get their main hand action attacks,
Yeah.
and they don't get the fucking offhand ones. So for most, yeah, sure, it doesn't. But the reason you have it is because you have to put up something to go into this fucking mode, especially if you do get knocked out of it.
Yeah. I get that part. I'm just saying it's definitely a wrong move. I'm just saying it's not a hugely wrong move in my opinion.
And not as wrong as whatever the fuck you determined for that goddamn to hit roll.
Yeah, no, there should never be a moment where you're like you could do disadvantage, and my thing is if you're gonna do disadvantage for shooting past someone, the only time it should hit the person you're shooting past is if it crit fails.
Especially because, like, in this situation, you know, they're trying to hit someone who the barbarian's engaged with and is in the way of. All right, so fair enough. That would be a tough shot. That's going to provide some risk.
Yeah, yeah.
They rolled a 15 plus though. Like that's a solid fucking roll. But you score between the hit value and the cover bonus from the barbarian. So you instead, like, I can see what their like reasoning was.
We can see the logic. We're just saying it shouldn't have been considered.
Yeah. I can see the logic. I see how they got from point A to point B. The problem is they should not have got from point A to point B. But anyways.
No. It's okay that they got from point A to point B. They should have done nothing with the information.
Second encounter. I didn't know there was a first one. Me, DM. I want to backstab this guy who's engaged with barbarian fighter with my knife. It's not a knife. It's a dagger. Fuck you. DM. Okay, but since you don't have advantage, you can't add sneak dice. Me. Oh, okay, but the book says I don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy or the target is within 5 feet to sneak attack, which is correct. You don't. DM. Yes, but I don't feel it would be fair if you got to sneak attack every time. Me. Then when can I sneak attack or get advantage on a roll? DM. Once per encounter when you attack from invisibility or stealth. But you would need to roll pretty high on stealth to get as close as 5 feet to an enemy to sneak attack.
I about spit up my goddamn peas at that.
Oh boy!
That is almost as bad as putting Eddie Guerrero on your wrestling Mount Rushmore. Bad take.
No, that's not as bad as that. At least Eddie Guerrero was good.
Yeah, no.
Oh
really
my
bad
god.
fucking take.
Me. That's fair. I didn't know it was that broken, but then could I do it with my short bow from stealth? DM. You can't use sneak attack or use advantage from range. Me at this point. ... What?
What? Like,
Okay, one, advantage, difficult to get from range. It's not easy to get, but you can get it. There's nothing that just discards that.
also
Certainly
range attack,
possible.
ultimate sneak attack weapon, like in actual tactics, because melee you have to be right up on this. You are more likely to get seen doing a melee sneak attack than you are a ranged sneak attack.
Yeah.
Like there have been entire armies and individuals who their entire tactics have revolved around fire, move, fire, move.
Yeah. And let me tell you, Jacob, all right? If we were standing out in like a field with a tree line next to it, okay? And you were looking to the center of the field, and I was like 50 feet behind you with a fucking crossbow.
Yep.
If I shoot you with that goddamn crossbow, not only are you not going to fucking know that I've done so, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, no, like, hell, I'll use the airsoft example because that's what I play. Like literally just the other day, I'm in the middle of town, working my way through town to try to hit a building, and some dudes came out of the woods and got me. I had no idea they were there, right? And even when they got me, like I knew where I had gotten shot from, still couldn't find them at first. Like it took me a second.
Regardless.
Oh, also, real quick.
Yeah.
Non sequitur, off topic. But let me get this description real quick. Go on, and then I'll tell you when I get to it. I'm in a cutscene.
Well, goddamn, I hope I'm following my boy, you bastard.
Okay, well, give me a second. I just got out of the cutscene.
God damn it! Metti mozzarella in my mouth, Jacob. You made me rush. It's not fair. Ah.
it was the fact that like in Final Fantasy they're like, oh well, this is an ocean specific what's it called? Ocean specific type of bait, and me as someone who has used squid in fucking freshwater lakes, there is no such thing. there is
No.
There is no type
Like-
of bait. Like, there's something. If you put something fleshy, bloody, and smelly in the water, something will
No.
bite.
One would say using something not in the natural biome can sometimes yield you better results because there's more curiosity to it.
Oh yeah. Also, the other thing where they're like, oh, fish can tell the difference between lures and bait, so it's rarer for them to hit lures. No. No. I.
No, Sam.
I fish. I fish in real life, buy my own gear and everything. It's like not just hand-me-downs anymore. You can throw a block of a small enough. If you put a proper sized block of wood on a string, put an eye hook on it, and throw some hooks on the end, you can catch a fish with it. Don't ask me how, but it works.
Regardless.
Anyways, on with the story.
Yeah. So second game. So this is the second one shot they did. His GF didn't participate in this one, so no overpowered characters. Level 10 multi-class character was a level 5 fighter and level 5 rogue, knife-throwing female ninja with very high stealth. I don't like that descriptor, but okay. Mainly because terrible multi-class. Especially for this fucker who gives you one sneak attack per encounter on him. You should have known from the beginning, just don't pick a rogue.
Yeah, that's on him. I mean, you just
You-
don't pick rogue.
You'd have actually been better off the exact same playstyle, but it's just a level 10 fighter. Regardless. Character concept I discussed with DM and DM's Jeff before this one shot specifically,
I want to try that.
and he
again.
gave it the okay, and he helped me choose classes and feats. 3 players, even though we started level 10, we had basic equipment. I basically replaced all my weapons with daggers. Me, DM, can I sneak around dungeon ahead of the party and check for enemies before we all advance? I had asked party in advance for reference if it was a cleric. Oh, I had asked party in advance for reference it was a cleric and a druid. DM, go ahead. Me, I slowly open this door and peer through. DM, okay, the enemy spot the door opening. Roll initiative. Me, okay, sure, I want to stay behind. DM moves 2 enemies to engage my character in melee, just taking 2 attacks of opportunity from melee druid and cleric, scimitar and mace. Me, with 16 AC, takes 1 hit from one of them, while the other shoves me prone and hits me with advantage. No, he doesn't. It would take him 1 action to shove you prone. And then it'd take
Yeah.
another for him to hit you with advantage.
Unless the DM's fucking with you.
Well, clearly he is.
Yeah, clearly the DM has been doing some butt fuckery. So
Fucking. Also, shove doesn't like prone. Fucking knocks you back. Regardless. Me gets up and attacking enemy with my dagger hitting. DM. Make a constitution saving throw. I don't recall the number, but I failed. DM. Fumes come out of the enemy and you take damage. Me, seeing my character with under 20 HP at the moment, chose to cunning action disengage. Me, does other throw knife attack hitting. Other players move to enemies and engage. No mention of the poison damage here, even though they both hit 2 times. And me being very confused, but I don't question it. Enemies turns again, and they do the same tactic again, but this time they miss both the 2 shoves and their attacks. I cunning action disengaged and use my attack to throw 2 knives. Damn, actually, you can't throw 2 knives on your action because each attack requires you to take out a knife, which you can only take 1 knife, seeing you don't have another knife equipped. Okay. Me. Well, yeah, but a ranger can hit 2 arrows. My whole character concept is a knife thrower. I didn't know the rules very well at this time, but if I remember correctly, you need a feat for this. You don't. Not really. No. But he actually makes a solid point. If a ranger can pull and knock 2 arrows, then his fucking level 5 fighter, level 5 fucking rogue can sure as shit pull a knife to throw it. If that's all they're doing. Damn. Yeah. But if I say you can't,
Yeah.
then you can't, which is it's true.
true.
Bit of a fucked way to say it, but it's
The thing is, if you're gonna do
correct in theory.
the thing is, if you're gonna do a knife thrower,
But You know, typically.
Sorry, I forgot to hit push
Go
talk.
ahead.
My thing is, if you're gonna do a knife thrower, talk it over with your DM over the mechanics first, and see if they'd be like, hey, can I flavor it where I store my knives on like a bandolier or something to ready them up, right? So I don't have to worry about the time of like pulling them out, because equipping weapons and pulling out weapons and items in armor is done so on the theory that you're pulling it out of a pack. That's what it's based on. That's why it takes an action.
Well, unless you have it actively equipped.
Yeah.
In which case, it is assumed to be on your person.
Yes, which is why like you may either make the thing or like do some character work to be like, hey, I carry a slotted sheath on my shoulder that can carry multiple knives, so I can just pull and throw, and then you talk to your DM and be like, hey, is it okay if I do that? Can I keep going, right? Like, that's how you're supposed to run it as a do it as a player, and the DM can go either, yeah, cool, that works for me, or there'll be a dick. Personally, I would think it would be a dick move to go like, no, you can't. It's cost an action.
Well, here's one caveat I'll give you to that, Jacob, because I think what you've said is very reasonable. Character concept I discussed with the DM and DM's GF before this one shot specifically, and he gave it the okay, and she helped me choose classes and feats. So he did that. He did that.
Yeah, fair enough. He did.
DM gave it the okay, and they helped him. But at no point did the DM decide to actually explain all these weird, fucked up rules that he was gonna fucking make, because it does seem like he legit just hates rogues.
I was about to say, this sounds like the rogue version of I hate wizards because they can just trivialize anything.
Or, you know, the rogue version of I hate fighters because magic's much more powerful and they shouldn't be able to blah, 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 blah. If you're a class in D&D, someone fucking hates you.
Game balance and fighters should be nerfed. Fuck martial classes. They shouldn't be allowed to do the same things like awesome wizard can do.
I swear to God, martial classes are the only fucking class that could be criticized for being too weak and irrelevant, and also have people want to fucking nerf them in the same breath. It makes no goddamn sense.
Honestly, I don't understand why people are like, oh, you swing a sword? That's lame. You can't be stronger than my warlock wizard lord. But then you are, and they're like, you need to be nerfed.
Some people can't handle reality. So, we go back to this. So he says, yeah, but if I say you can't, then you can't. He says, okay, fine, but then I will be useless for the rest of the game. I already know my kit and how it works. Me, through one
Also,
dagger anyway.
Real quick,
Yeah.
that is the DM way of saying, I'm gonna be a dick and I'm not gonna let you argue with me.
Yeah. DM. Okay, cleric and true. Roll Constitution. Both fail, take damage, and blame me, even though I didn't understand the mechanic, which I fucking don't blame you, since it didn't fucking happen the other few times. DM carried on with the game, and the other players finished the monsters. Later, we get surrounded to the point where there are too many monsters. They want us to fight a gauntlet open arena in turns, my character going first, with no rest from previous encounter. I tried to flee to my acrobatics, claiming I want to try to wall jump the arena walls, which were 20 feet if I remember. I rolled high, but out of that 20, roll was over 25. Or maybe he meant the roll was over 25, in which case that's fucked up. DM, unfortunately, your character didn't make it. You climbed just the edge of the wall, but you couldn't just make the cut. Kind of fucked. Enemy attacks and down me. Druid turns to a bird and flees the arena, and Cleric literally joins the bad guys. God damn. DM added a funny quip at the end about my character being tortured by the enemies, which he described very precisely. While the Druid fled to the wild, and Cleric later became an organizer for the arena. This all might have been because I used to flirt with his girlfriend. She flirted back, by the way, before I met him, but I don't know, TBH. After this point, I had an argument with him about his funny quip and how it wasn't funny, and he was pissed and screaming at me, so I just stopped talking to everyone in that DM, turning me off the game for over 2 years. Toxic people, TBH. But on a good note, met some people online who helped me get into the game again and had some good times through Discord, all international. Later, I learned some of my old childhood friends started playing 2 years ago, and I joined them, and it was great growing and learning together. Now we play every Saturday in a group where everyone does their part as a DM. No forever DM yet, and I'm planning to launch a massive campaign for them based on Dragon Age Origins, but with vampires. That's fucking stupid. As nice as I would like to be, that's a dumb idea. No, stop it.
What was I gonna say? You know what? You know what you can only think about with the whole funny clip thing?
What?
It's not funny.
It wasn't a funny quip.
It's not.
I wouldn't let
funny.
myself be tortured. I would take my cyanide pill.
I have a cyanide pill in my tooth. It's not funny.
It's like fucking. Oh god, what was the fucking guy from the Crit Crab video in the Elder Scrolls one who fucking
Fuck.
had a poison needle in his fucking collar?
That one,
and he
yeah.
got with his teeth.
I think the version of that I remember hearing was actually a Nick Beardia video.
Yeah. I know they both did it.
That's funny as hell though. But no, I just thought that
Oh.
it's not funny, guys.
No, I'm only a host of
What?
Well-
Swallow, then talk.
No, I can't. If I'd swallowed and died. I fucking bit off a piece of this goddamn stromboli. And pulled out a whole fucking pepperoni slice. It is pepperoni, salami, ham, cheese, and green and red peppers.
Actually, don't sound half bad right about now.
Oh, it's fucking delicious. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I have that pork butt that my dad cooked up that I seasoned. It's fucking delicious. And some of that like, you know, Zatarans.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that yellow rice, that like cheesy yellow rice.
Yeah.
He made some of that, but it wasn't Zataran's brand. And then he's
Nice. What the fuck?
also Brie.
What's up?
Be quiet.
I am simply vibing. Also, I need to go to bed soon because I gotta get up early for
Oh,
work.
that's right. You have work tomorrow. You excited?
And nervous.
You're working at a what? Animal clinic?
Animal shelter, yeah.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. Wait, good lord. What time do you have to eat? What time do you have to go to work?
I have to be there at 7. I gotta wake up early. Because it's about a 25-minute drive, I think.
Well, working life sucks.
God.
Oh, Griffin, did I tell you that my boss tried to get me to work tomorrow?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
So the president of the university that I work at is having doing his state of the university address. And so like yesterday, we had to rebuild our stage like 5 times for him, for his aide. Not even himself, the aide there to be pleased. It wasn't even there. We had to send pictures to. But they're like, yeah, we're probably gonna have to rebuild the entire stage on Wednesday. And I looked at my manager and said, have fun with that. I already took off that day. He's like, what do you mean? It's like, my ability will be set to none all day. It's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm with boys that day. They're like, no, I'm putting you on the schedule. It's like, you can put me on the schedule. I'm not coming in.
Huh.
you can tell me this is a part-time job. It pays me not enough for the shit I go through.
Cool story,
do what you
Bob.
want.
I went through the proper channels. Get fucked.
Sorry, boss. I did what you
Damn, bro. Damn, bro, that sucks. Good luck with that.
click. Alright, we're drinking.
Damn, man. That's wild.
Click.
Let me know how that goes. See y'all Thursday.
Damn, man. That's wild. Click.
And that's so
fast.
crazy. Like,
No, Jacob, you know what you should have done to him?
What?
The second he said, you should have said, no, I don't want to.
Forgot about that shit.
I can tell because you fucking peeked and faded into the fucking Feywild, you fucking goddamn hyena.
What if I don't want to? Did you pick up your arm when he said that too?
Goddamn right I did. I leaned forward to the whole thing.
Hey, Marie.
Hmm.
Show me the Morty.
show me the word.
Fun fact, Griffin. If you say "show me the Morty," she has to say it better.
Shut up.
Show me the Morty, Marie.
No, fuck you. I'm not doing it now just in spite.
You know you want to.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna do it. Meanie.
Show me the Morty.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is today's presentation on peer pressure and how to say no.
Oh shit.
But
Show me the word.
There it
Got
is.
it all the time.
I got a weird one.
Alrighty.
I'm not even gonna read the title because it's gonna fucking spoil it. Okay. So this is screenshots from like Discord, fucking server and shit. And they blanked out all the names. So the subject of the story says, "I see. We had a lot of out of character stuff here. Then. First thing he asks, how clean is Bianca's face and hands? And how nice does she smell?
No.
Is there grime underneath her fingernails?
Uncomfortable. Stop.
Huh.
Immediately stop.
If you got painted nails or something similar, it's going to feel abused at night. People at this time period weren't all filthy. Even the peasantry, they washed off regularly. They just tended to not take nearly as many baths as the middle class and gentry. To which the DM of this campaign immediately says, okay, it's kind of weird for me. Can you calm with asking for descriptions for a second? You're making me a little uncomfortable. And the guy responds,
Fair enough.
okay, but I do need an idea of what my character sees to play here. It's crucial to play the game. And they
No, it's
sort of
crucial-
like, okay,
It's crucial to feel your fetish.
okay, fine, but I'll tell you if I feel uncomfortable. Okay? He said, well, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. God damn it.
I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I just want you to describe this character in disgusting detail.
Okay.
The shadow.
They say, they say, well, I don't want you to feel comfortable without asking for clarification on things my character will see in the future. So let me start by saying that Lenny is an Imperial Saiyan. Now, he's not necessarily a pleasant man, but he's a Jedi Saiyan. And the response, okay, fine, I was telling you I was a little uncomfortable. And then they banned him and got the circle around him. And so, the title was Creep asks player for information about their character, hands, and smell. Oh.
How sticky is her ass?
I'll have you know, very first comment. No, you don't understand. It's crucial to my characters are people of my And then it just, oh god, it goes downhill.
What are you on Reddit?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So on that note, Jacob, so how clean is Corrigan's face in general sense?
Not at all.
Does he keep his pecs lathered up?
No, he does not.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how crippling is your anxiety going to be whenever you will inevitably fucking see the resolution to the tribal and Theron conflict?
I'm going to have a panic attack when that happens. I hope you understand.
You won't even have to do anything. You just have to sit there and watch.
I'm going to be fucking pissing myself.
And you'll still sit there and you'll be all like lean back in your chair and like bracing onto the fucking table. and fucking chugging water. They're like, guys, I can't breathe right now. My fucking heart feels weird. Let me
You're
drink
not
some
even wrong.
coffee. That'll chill me out.
Like that first night.
That was the only night where I swear to God I have ever worried about your fucking health because you legit seemed like you were about to fucking die off me, homie.
Yeah, no, I was. That night was rough for me. I don't know. I think it was because I really got in the mindset and like cared about what Corrigan cared about. And like literally, I'm just sitting there the whole time, just. I need a moment. I need a moment. Every sentence that came out of his mouth, it could have been like, "Okay, I agree with what you're saying," and just give me a moment. Give me a moment. I need to think. I need to think.
Oh, I don't exaggerate when I say you were literally holding on to everything fucking around you. And it didn't help any. Fucking, you were still nervous as shit.
No, I was still panicked to hell and back.
Fucking Joe's just sitting there across from you, fucking confused. His little dwarf self.
Joe is just sitting there like, why are you so scared? Are you not? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, God. Oh. It's fucking... Oh,
It's
no.
It's the final brain cell. Do-do-do-do.
Well, speaking of brain cells, and dwarves, and Joe, pedo dwarf oozes main character energy.
Pedo dwarf?
This one's tagged NSFW, so if there's any children in the chat, they should...
Well, this is a mature stream, so,
They should have been long gone.
yeah.
No, they shouldn't. Watch things are not meant to. Grow up faster. Reading the sub reminded me of a 3.5 game I had the displeasure of DMing a long time ago. The game was with some random people at a school club I was part of. I wasn't the best DM back then, and looking back, I did quite a few mistakes in order to go for a gritty realism kind of game. I don't remember the game in full details, but snippets of it that really surprised me. My players were a halfling druid, the guy was chill, and honestly got nothing wrong to say about it. Human swashbuckler. She had a kind of warrior princess vibe, wanted to fight in a dress and a breastplate that would be flattering, question mark, question mark. The player was trying to be a bit of a Mary Sue and would often fight out to the dwarf. Dwarf fighter, the main issue of the game. Trying to Mary Sue his way would be an understatement. Was a jerk both in-game and outside, trying to argue rules to handicap the teams so they look better, or picking flaws in other actions. No mention of him being a pedophile yet, though, so we'll see what that comes in. Here's a summary of the 3 sessions. Session 1. They had a quest where they had... They had a quest where they had to be a bit sneaky. Basically, don't go and try to fight the bad guy straight up. Swashbuckler goes and tries to fight the bad guy straight up, with the guards on the villain's side because she basically threatened him out of nowhere. Dwarf laughs and said something like, she's a moron, your guards shouldn't be little bitches that doesn't kill her right here and then. Hell, I would help them. After the situation gets diffused, they had to wait for a doctor traveling to the village they were in. The NPC had been ambushed by kobolds and they chopped some of his fingers off. I described the man sobbing and heaving enters the tavern with bloody hands saying, help, my fingers, my hands. Druid goes like, oh, I'll help him by... Then the dwarf interrupts him by saying something like, my character furrows his brow, visibly intrigued by the scene. Lets out a little, out, his beard rustling against his homemade chain shirt. He turns his head slowly, the woodbench cracking under his... and went on for 10 minutes describing that he turned his head and walked to the man in great confidence. Once he stopped talking, asked the druid to continue, only for Dwarf to interject to say he was in the middle of an action. I told him he interrupted the druid, and all his slow-mo description took so much time the man would have bled to death. He said he was the only one who could do anything since he was a fighter and knew how to bandage from his military service. No, that's dumb. That's stupid. You wouldn't know
Is this an
Oh.
out-of-season April Fool's joke?
that. Don't you guys have phones?
You guys have phones or eh?
Yeah, we don't use them on that bullshit. Session 2. The group heads up to fight the kobolds. Druid picks up a few kills early on with his sling. Good man. So Dwarf starts saying that the kobolds should have partial cover because the road is curved, and the rulebook says if they are 25% covered, they should have partial cover. And since the halfling is small, the curve should be enough to. Well, he basically tried to bullshit his way. Druid was like, okay, I don't mind, but it should apply to your bow too. And Dwarf tried to argue that since he was slightly taller, that doesn't apply to him. No, you can keep your rules for thee, but not for me bullshit at your own goddamn table. No, fuck you. If you were going to put a disadvantage onto someone based on a trait that you share, you don't get to just fucking skip out on it. That's not how it works. It's fucked up.
That's not how that works, Batman.
Oh. God damn it, Jacob.
What?
You didn't give me enough time to chew my strombone. Oh. Oh, there we go. They fight. Get the insight that kobolds in the area usually aren't that daring, and something must be starting them up. They get into a fight with homebrewed monsters, part of the overarching story. Now the monsters had high AC but almost no HP and no damage. They were kind of calcified creatures that were rotting inside. They win, and the session stops. Dwarf talks to me in private, saying that my game was okay, but I lacked details like how I don't describe things well enough, like how much rocks there were on the trails in the woods. It's still a running joke by regular players. He said I also give unfair advantages to Druid with the cover thing and Swash doing more actions, which was actually half true. I miscalculated distances and run speed, making her faster than she should. And not allowing him to shine. He said that he knew how hard it is to deal with a player who plays fighters really well, but it's a cheap shot to have high AC monsters so that he can't crush them all easily like he should have. Fuck right off. Fuck right off. Stop giving fighters a bad name, you piece of shit.
Yeah, stop.
No.
Stop giving one of my favorite classes to play a bad name.
God damn it. No, absolutely not indeed. Session 3. They travel with the doctor and head to another village. They meet a future villain there, and he hosts them in his mansion. The villain was from a noble family related to the doctor. They were all great alchemists and had a rite of passage to either create or improve a potion. The villain made a suggestion / charm potion that lasted a long time. Basically, the person would obey him as long as it's not too outlandish or against their values. So he kidnapped orphans to teach them young to kill / do evil deeds for. That's weird. The boys would pass by as delivery boys, gardeners, and the girls would be maids in the mansion / guest house. The villain tells them to stay at the guest house and ask the maids to serve their guests and make sure they're happy. I go in great length to explain that they are kids. 10 to 13 years, and that the girls wore plain gray dresses with an apron. Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
I do not like this.
I don't like where this is going, Griffin.
The dwarf asks how short the skirt part was. I told him it's
There it is.
ankle length.
There it is.
He gets pissy, saying it's not a maid outfit, to which I reply, it's not a slutty maid outfit. He then asked if there was at least some cleavage going on, to which I say no, and reiterate that they are kids.
No. No.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, just you wait, boys and girls, it gets worse. He then said that we lacked historical knowledge, as women would be seen as mature much younger in the Middle Ages, so it's fine. And he then asks if any of them are more
Not like-
developed.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
No, okay, look, I'm one of those people that's like, yeah, historical context matters for when something is written. This does not count!
No,
That's
this is
a
not.
developed with 2 P's, by the way. I don't think that was intentional.
I told him no, and I would not go down this path, so we better cut it off. He went on a rant, saying his actions were perfectly normal, but agreed to stop. Huh. Well, that's a real clear sign that your actions were not normal and not justified. You go on a rant about it, saying you're justified, and then just fucking stop anyways.
Pain
Oh god, hold on, let's respect to this voice.
Does it get worse?
Not even 5 minutes later, he asks a maid to come sit on his lap. I tell him the girl refuses, and as a DM, I refuse to do that. He said that the villain asked them to please them, so she should start being pleasing.
No.
I told him that they were supposed to be the good guys. Keep in mind, Swash and Druid did nothing wrong, supported migrants against the rules. And he should start acting like the hero instead of trying to molest a kid, and since it's still going this way, I was done with the game. So, folks, that's one of the rare times a player made me disgusted by my own scenario, which I'll even say, scenario wasn't bad. I mean, he wrote it like he was on fucking psychedelics, but like the idea of, someone like training a child army, like, yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah. But God, that was pain. That was pain.
It was super uncomfortable.
Just icky to my core right there. Can we just never read one of those again?
Only if they're funny. Okay, hold on. What the fuck is this? Okay, so this one's titled "Stop Pissing Everywhere."
Well
This one
then.
has an exclamation mark on it.
But what if I wanna piss everywhere?
I'm not gonna read
No,
the
you
intro parts. It's
can't.
irrelevant.
This is infringing on my rights to piss.
Yeah, it is. Get bent.
Fuck you, woke moralist. Let's see who can't do. Nothing will ever beat that quote from him in my brain. Oh no, it's up yours, woke moralist. My problem. My bad.
Take that, atheism. Who has the high ground now? Answer is, it's me, Anakin. It was always me. So to start, we sat down with the other players and had a proper session 0, where we asked the questions we thought were relevant, and the DM told us some things he thought were relevant. It seemed fine, except he said, I'm a world builder first, and a DM second. This phrase bugged me, and I didn't know why. I figured it was probably just him saying, I make the world, what you do in it is up to you. And that made sense, so I made a character, a level 4 druid centaur with the body of a deer. I was excited. That's a terrible character. Don't be a centaur, you're making things difficult for everyone. And don't be a centaur that's a deer.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No deer tars. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They
no,
are
'cause
aesthetically pleasing though.
it is sure. If you're not a PC, like that's like a fucking guardian of nature. You're not going on an
Yeah,
adventure, you're
that is
guarding the forest.
No, you know what that is? You turn that into like if your players are like level 5, you make that a level 10 NPC that they encounter. There you go.
Huh. Like, it's a cool concept, it makes sense, but fucking it's trying to be a little bit too special on your part. Like, for a one-shot, that's cool. That's fine, go for it, but
Yeah, I'd go for it.
on my end, at least, I would never allow that in a proper
Yeah.
campaign. This is going to cause too many issues. And someone is going to try to ride them, and I'm going to get angry.
Because you hate players riding other players.
Yes!
I don't even understand. Like, I can understand your whole, I hate the small person on the big person, writing thing. I can understand that one. I don't quite understand your hatred of, I hate anybody writing anybody.
Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add. There's no logical reason to do it in or out of character. It would not provide you any actual advantage in any fucking way. And if you're doing it as a joke, why the fuck would you just hinder yourself in what's probably an important moment? It's just weird, and it creates too many potential problems.
Well, the only thing I say, okay, well, would you be? What if you were throwing a trash mob encounter at him, like let's say they're level 5 and you're throwing a group of like 10 level 1 bandit, like not even level 1, like CR.5 bandits, right? CR 1 halves. And like they're like, all right, we're gonna try and shock and awe them and have Billy, our fighter here, ride a horseback on our centaur with a lance. All right, like
No.
they're like, we're just gonna go balls out and try and scare them.
Oh, and the main reason why I wouldn't do that is just because just physically and mechanically, it's not gonna work. Because centaur, not a horse. Probably never had anyone ride him before. Probably not gonna do very well with that. Probably gonna be real difficult. And when they inevitably fuck up, because I'm not gonna let them just do that for free, then they're gonna get upset, and I don't want to deal with that. It's one of those things that it should not be an issue that it is not allowed because it doesn't need to be done. Don't try and ride people. It's weird.
I think this is one of your moments where you're just being fucking dumb, honestly. Where you have one of those moments of like, I don't see why we should do it, so I'm not gonna let anybody do it. Like, it's one of your moments I think you're having right now with that.
What is a good reason for someone to ride another character in battle?
Because two people think it'd be fun to do.
That's not a good reason, Jacob.
Yeah, it is.
Haha, funny meme.
Yeah, to a lot of people, Griffin, to most normal people who aren't shut-ins, it's a good enough reason.
Yeah, I'm sure by your fucking point of view, you do see it as a good reason just because it's like, no. It's not how I fucking perceive things. That's a very bad reason to fucking do it.
Like I said, to your point of view, you're like, oh, I don't think I see what do it just to have fun. It's like, but that's what people would find fun. You don't find it fun, so you're like, I don't see why to do it.
From my point of view, Jacob, the Jedi are evil.
Well, Anakin, you just got done killing children, so...
Yeah, and you know what? Didn't have to ride a single clone trooper to do it.
But if he did and had fun doing it, it would have been fine.
No. Because why the fuck would I be riding a clone trooper?
Because haha,
The fucking... The 501st Legion is not bidden to fucking completely answer all your requests. I'm pretty sure there's probably a little program that says if the Jedi tries to ride you in a non-sexual manner, you're allowed to say no.
But what about a sexual? Because that what you just said
I'm
implies.
fairly certain that's somewhere in there. Regardless, this has nothing to do with riding. It has to do with pissing. So unless this fucker's talking about their weird fucking deer penis, which I imagine they aren't, since they're the writer of it playing this character,
Damn, I can't
then
go with that.
fucking it shouldn't be any issue that they're a centaur. The game rolls up and we start. No word of how I'm going to be introduced or when. So I wait, and wait, and wait. Meanwhile, the players are pissing around. Literally. One of them was pissing around on the street trying to get NPCs to do the same, and even pissed in some room full of wizards that were supposedly all-powerful. The party was given a job to do. Stop this Dragon Lord by collecting 30 statues that could be turned into full dragons if they were left to the Dragon Lord, lest the world fall into ruin. This might sound like it could be a fun story, but I was told that the game was going to be lighter and more fun rather than serious, so my character was designed to reflect that. Which, if that's the case, then fine. Centaur, no issue in that case. If they say it is supposed to be a lighter, like, fucking lighthearted, fun story, alright, cool. Fucking go for it. But, Dragon Lord 30 statues, it doesn't sound very light.
I mean, if like I said,
This was a bummer, but
what
I
he
could
said
work
though
around
was that was what
but
he was.
the pissing was bothering me.
Oh, here we go. Sorry,
I felt like I'd walked in on someone's fetish.
I say real quick.
Gee.
He did say that's what he was told. So like the setup probably wasn't like should have been serious, but then the dude was like, oh, we're gonna make it haha funny. He's like, okay, so haha funny character.
Yeah. Like, if he was told, oh, it's going to be lighthearted and shit, then alright, cool, fine, no issues there.
Well, it does sound so far like
Really?
you're told it's gonna be haha funny, and then you get there and it's not haha funny, and you're like,
No, it's not haha funny, it's pss, pss, pss. That's the sound you can get rid
it's frying chicken.
of. Ew.
Damn boy, you frying chicken in there?
I'll never pee again.
Nah, you piss really loud, and I think that's cool.
Well, you know what they say, always aim for center bowl. If you don't aim for center bowl, you're a quitter.
Hey, Griffin.
What?
When you, when you piss on the edge of the bowl so it doesn't make a sound. Your
Yeah.
brother.
You know, I'll forever state to this day that the true test, the true, benchmark of a confident man is one who buys one of those like fucking Econo flush toilets that has really low fucking water in it. Because that motherfucker is confident in his aim if he's going for center bowl every time. And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a man you can trust.
Yeah.
Even on your toilet, I always try to aim for center bowl, but fucking your toilet's fucking half the size of a fucking human.
He's just either they're big or that they're too small.
They're too small.
They're also-
Your toilet, it looks like you just slightly sized up like a training potty.
Hey now, look.
Like I would sit on it, but I feel like I'd fucking break it if I did. Like it's that goddamn small.
Like me and my family sit on them, so you're fine.
I honestly, I feel like I'd fucking trip and fall. God damn it, because I'd fucking be used to sitting on it by the time I got that fucking low. Goddamn knees would buckle out and I'd lose balance.
I will say there have been many a moment where I have gone to use these and it's just not okay. I'm just like, god damn it, it's about to have mess, and I get it on. I'm like, okay, we're good. But anyways, enough of that. On to the story.
Eventually, after an hour and a half, us new players were being introduced. The first player was introduced as a Goliath. The DM said the door to the tavern slams open from the sheer strength of the Goliath. The player kind of quietly said, oh, well, I wouldn't slam it. I'd be very aware of my strength and carefully open it. Which, fair. You're Goliath, you're most likely an adult, you'd be aware of your strength. Goliath doors aren't going to be, like, particularly heavier. Fucking, that makes sense. This seemed to bother the DM, but he let it go. I was preparing to get introduced to. I was preparing to get introduced to. Was I going into the tavern? I was fresh from the Feywilds. Ah, yes, it would make sense I'd go to the local watering hole out of curiosity. No, I don't seem to show up. The way he fucking wrote this is very confusing. Okay, that's fine. Oh, they're leaving. I bet they'll bump into me on the street. I'll fall down on my dear butt and say what a klutz I am and apologize, and oh, that didn't happen either. Don't say dear butt. They're already pissing, don't say dear butt. Or watering hole, now that I think about it.
You know what? Just leave alone anything.
Don't refer to
don't
liquids
speak.
or body parts.
Or things, or items.
Well, now I'm confused and bored. Finally, the party hears what sounds like a horn. The forest nearby apparently was so dangerous that almost nobody ever comes out of it once they go in. And out I walk, NPCs saying this was my second time doing so. Massive improv DM mode activates, and I decided to go with, I'm so directionally challenged I got lost twice. The party joins up, and I have a bit ready where I say I'll lead them and go the complete wrong way before being pointed in the right direction. But the DM says I turn around and lead them in. Oh, so it's like that. Now, I'll say currently, for someone who did mention that they were a world builder more than a DM, you'd think they'd be more comfortable with just letting the players sort of handle their own actions
Yeah. You know what?
instead of determining them so specifically so far.
So we're gonna go to the meeting room, right?
No. And even furthermore, how did he not know what he was going to be doing? Did he legit just not fucking tell them, like, hey, this is how you're going to be introduced? That's fucked up. Yeah. Oh, that's mommy. Oh. You can't just leave someone fucking hanging like that. I will say though, a bit disappointed that there's not been any more piss yet, but we'll see. By this point, I'm getting irritated and I'm getting weird vibes. The wizards had given a +3 axe to one of the players, and after the players demanded gifts, the all-powerful wizards gave them what they asked for. Let me just set something real quick. Yep, level 4 druid. Level 4 druid. Now, to those less initiated and sort of for how D&D works and the balancing of things and whatnot. And again, I'll preface this as we always say: do as you please in your own game. Just understand that some things are inherently bad ideas if there's a certain type of game that you're aiming for. But a plus 3 item for a level 4 character is it's just a tad strong. Just a tad. One would even say that them having a plus 1 item at level 4 might be a bit much.
I wouldn't say it's all that much. It's fine.
Well, some. I don't think it's too bad, but if you're gonna give out a plus 1, like a plus 1 weapon, that should probably be the only plus 1 weapon you hand out around that level. Give other people some other stuff, mainly just for like diversity's sake, and that way they don't just have fucking very simple magical items. Give like some exciting stuff. But a plus 3. Fuck. That's not even to mention just the rest of the party getting whatever the fuck they asked for from the other people.
Fun fact. Don't give them whatever they want. Don't. I did that once. It doesn't work out.
Typically, if your player asks for a very specific item, you probably don't want to give it to them. Or at least look very closely into it. Don't just do it. Give it some time. But regardless, one player had refused to go into a shop, stopping the game for nearly 45 minutes while the DM offered alternatives, and the player was simply unwilling to do anything because of an in-lore reason for not wanting his NPC cannon fodder homeless people in the store. But now, after an hour and a half, we were on the move. What? Hold on. One player had refused to go into the shop, or refused to go into a shop, right?
Yeah.
Jacob, I want you to hold on to that thought, all right? One player had refused to go into a shop. Okay. To stop the game for nearly 45 minutes while the DM offered alternatives, and the player was simply unwilling to do anything.
I would go, alright, then you're just gonna stand the fuck out there and you're not doing anything. Oh well.
Because of an in-lore reason for not wanting his NPC cannon fodder homeless people in the store.
Yeah, that part I'm like, what?
Is he... I assume what he's trying to say is that the player character had homeless people followers?
I guess?
But even... fucking why is not the obvious solution just don't bring them in?
Yes, hey guys, wait out here.
Fucking just click on them, click the fucking wait here command, and they'll be there. They're not fucking lemmings, they're not just gonna wander around aimlessly. And then, why do you have homeless people?
Unless they're all like... what, lame, deaf, and mute? Is that what it is?
No, I'm pretty sure if they were lame, they couldn't move.
They just fucking following him at all times.
Just piling in a fucking corpse car and he's fucking dragging them along just to have them, I guess.
Just walking around, bring out your dead.
I'm not dead.
I'm not dead yet. Yes, he will. Stone dead in a moment.
Not dead though.
I'm feeling better. I think I might pull through.
For the poll, I hear you're a racist now. How'd you get into that sort of thing?
Well, you see, I went down to the local racetrack and I started racing.
Or no, it was Father Ted. God damn it. Fuck it up.
What were you gonna say?
Wait, I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna dip because I need to go to bed.
Alright.
So I gotta get up tomorrow.
Get that sleep.
Get that sleep.
I'm feeling
It was fun
tired.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Alright, night night.
Night night.
We'll finish this one up and wrap up. Oh, hopefully we get some good pissing action. But fucking.
I was promised pissing. I want pissing.
I was promised stop pissing everywhere. We've only had a little bit of pissing.
I didn't even hear the little bit of pissing that's been happening so far.
No. When they first started the session, the players were literally pissing around in the streets and in buildings.
Why? What?
I don't know. He didn't explain.
You know what? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Scaring the little girl.
I get a bit of recounting some of the things a lowly level 4 like me had seen, according to the DM. You know, giant spiders, wanty murders of crows, wormlings, other centaurs, and more. I know, I'm be honest with you, Jacob, one of those things, not like the other. Two of those things, I'd actually even argue.
Yeah, I saw my own people. And I saw crows, saw some birds. I also saw snake fucking people.
Little dragons.
Yeah.
Oh, it's giant spiders, but
Spiders so
God
big.
damn it.
Spiders so big they can rip a man in half. It's fine.
And suddenly, I get hit for 5 HP by some mind-controlled crow. I go to get ready for combat, and another player attacks with some sort of magic item, dealing 70 damage. And he said he could reload as a bonus action and make another attack at the same turn. But the bird just exploded, making investigating impossible. I was blown away by this number. I even asked, how did you do 70 damage at level 4? And that's when it came up. He wasn't level 4. He was level 6 with deliberately overpowered magic items because he had been there so long, and it was a reward for staying so long. I was underleveled compared to him, and with no magic items to boot. Apparently, I wasn't alone in my weird feelings, and another player, the Goliath, chimed in saying he wasn't comfortable in this game and said his goodbyes. He went to leave and the team started defending everything, putting the blame on the players for not asking questions during Session 0. He mentioned that they asked questions during Session 0, okay. He completely dismissed the players' feelings and concerns, even when I chimed in that it felt off too. It took nearly half an hour of the DM defending himself using the phrase of, I'm a world builder first and a DM second, to my disgust, and justifying the others having magic items and being higher level, that eventually the Goliath just left. The session fizzled out, and I left the same game, albeit privately in call. I've never seen so many problems in one session. The DM then went on to blame the other player for the problem and wasting time, even to me. Goliath and I are hanging out now, and he's a backup character in the game idea. TLDR, players go around pissing on everything, are higher level than us new players, have crazy strong magic items, while DM blamed the players for getting blindsided by the direction we weren't informed about, and playing favors to his old players. Update. Goliath is in the comments too. Okay, I don't care about that. Where's the pissing?
Where was the pissing? Where was the piercing? You promised
Where-
piercing.
Where was the pee?
Where's the pee? The pee.
Where is the pee?
I got excited for nothing. You did this to me, you motherfucker.
You promised me piss. That is not piss. That is slightly distressed looking man.
You promised me piss. And he brought me shit.
Goo.
Goo? You promised me goo.
That's not goo. You saying that's goo?
That's not goo. Goo?
Oh, God. You know what it actually reminds me of, though?
Alright.
Is so there's a quest that I plan on throwing at the fucking pirate campaign just 'cause it's fucking stupid. I
Those are
based
the
it off of a fucking yeah, absolutely. I based it off of a book that I read a long time ago. Decent little book. Although it fucking ended in a weird way. But anyways, fucking the second book, I had looked it up again and like I read like a little bit of like the little like Google Books previews that like they give you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I read a little bit of that, and fucking I forgot that like the first thing that it talks about is the main character. He's doing kind of like secretarial work in a way for like the prince of the nation. You know, like the letters that would be sent to him, he's going through them and like handling those issues himself. You know, so that the princess have to do it.
Yeah.
And the one that's got him so fucking bent out of shape is there's this fucking clothes dyer who doesn't have enough piss to dye his clothes
What?
because he had found a fantastic way to dye clothes with like super, rich, vibrant colors using urine, whereas he refers to it, and the main character gets very upset at, piddle.
Okay.
And apparently, because he had not shared this method with the local artisans guild, they had managed to blacklist him and stop him from getting piddle from the typical avenues.
Wait,
So he's constantly sending letters to this fucker talking about how he needs more piddle so he can make his dyes and meet the demands.
What the fuck? Don't die on me, Griffin.
And fucking like the guy, he's sitting there, he's getting all pissed off about it, and his friend comes in and he's like, "Hey, what's got you bent out of shape?" And he says, "Hey Matt, you wouldn't happen to have any extra urine on you, would you?" He's like, nah, not on hand at the fucking moment. Why?" And he's like, "Well, fucking Meister Glass Bottle, he needs more goddamn piddle for his fucking dyes, and he can't get any more piddle because no one in the guild will give him any, and he's getting blacklisted."
Is that gonna be the fucking quest? You gotta go find this man some piddle.
there's some dyer who needs piddle for his dyes, and he's gonna give him a dumb little quest to see if he can go get some inroads for them
No.
to get his piss stores free.
No, that's why you know what you do. You know what you do. You can do that, but instead of dye, have it be a potion seller that they've gone to.
Oh god, no, I can't do that, dude.
Yes, you can. You know you can.
Oh, I've already done the potion seller bit.
Potion seller. Wait, like,
just strongest potion.
like, okay, that video potion seller bit. That's the bit you're talking about. You did the full. You can't handle my strongest potions bullshit.
Yep. Oh god.
That's wild.
Here it
we're,
is.
oh, you what? You have another one?
No, I have I'm gonna read this off. It's so fucking funny.
Okay.
With a gusty sigh, he kicked the door shut, slid reluctantly into his chair, and got back to work. And, skip some time. Acridly drowning in Meister Glossbottle's pestilent piss problems, he didn't notice time passing as the day's light drained slowly from the sky. that broke you already.
The pestilent piss problems. It was the alliteration.
He didn't even realize he was no longer alone in his office until a hand pressed his shoulder and a voice said, "Asher, are you dreamstruck? What's your name?" Startled, he dropped his pen and spun around in the chair. "Matt, you daft blot, you trying to give me a heart spasm?" This fella's from the coast, which is to say he's a country bumpkin Welsher. "No, I'm trying to get your attention," said Matt, who was half grinning, half concerned. "Knocked and knocked till I bruised my knuckles and then I called your name. Twice. What's so important it's turned you deaf?" "Urine," he said sourly. "You got any?" Matt blinked. "Well, no, not on me, not as such." "Then you're no bloody use. You might as well push off." The thing he liked best about Matt was the stable Meister's reassuring aura of unflappability. Man could be as persnickety as he liked, and all Matt would ever do was smile. The way he was smiling now. "And if I ask why you're in such a desperate need of urine, will I be sorry?" Suddenly aware of stiff muscles and a looming headache, Asher shoved his chair back and stomped around his office. Ha! His cage. "Probably. I know I bloody am. Urine's for getting rid of into the nearest chamber pot, not for hoarding like a miser with gold." Matt was looking bemused. "Since when did you have the urge to hoard urine?" "Since never. It's bloody indigo gloss bottles got the urge, not me." "I know I'll regret asking this, but how in Barrel's name could any man have a shortage of urine?" "By being too clever for his own damned good, that's how." He propped himself on the windowsill, scowling. Indigo Gloss Bottle fancies himself something of an artiste, you see. Good old-fashioned cloth dyeing like his dad did.
as Das da before. That ain't good enough for Meister Indigo Glossbottle. No, Meister Indigo Glossbottle's gotta go and think up new ways of dyeing clothes and wool and such like, ain't he? Well, said Matt, being fair, you can't blame the man for trying to improve his business. Yes, I can, he retorted. When him improving his business turns into me losing precious sleep over another man's urine, you'd better bloody believe I can. Viciously mimicking, he screwed up his face into Indigo Glossbottle's permanently piss-strangled expression and fluted his voice in imitation. Oh, Meister Asher, the blues are so blue and the reds are so red. My customers can't get enough of them, but it's all in the piddle, you see. Can you believe it? Bloody man can't even bring himself to say piss. He's got to say piddle. Like, that'll mean it don't stink as much. I need more piddle, Master Asher. You must find me more piddle. Because the thing is, you see, these precious new ways of his use up twice as much piss as the old ways, don't they? And since he's put all the other guild members' noses out of joint with his fancy secret dyeing recipe, they pull strings to make sure he can't get all the urine he needs. Now it reckons the only way he's going to meet demand is by going door to door with a bucket in one hand and a bottle in the other, saying, "Excuse me, sir and madam, would you care to make a donation?" And for some strange reason, he ain't too keen on that idea.
Here, I need you guys to piss in my bottle so I can make a living.
Sir, ma'am, I'd like to take a moment for you to speak about our word savor. And if you'd like, could you make a urine donation so I can improve my dye business?
Sir, this is an Arby's. Please go away.
Oh, okay. I mean, like, is there maybe like any like toilets that are clogged up? I can just take it from the tap.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Please go away.
Oh, you don't have toilets. It's so fucking stupid. Goddamn, I'm gonna have them do it. They're not gonna go around collecting piss in a fucking bucket. It's gonna be like, hey, listen, you know, the guild members, they've got these thugs outside the warehouse where the stuff gets delivered and they won't let me get to it. You know, if you all can like go clear them out, then you know I'll pay you handsomely, and we're gonna go fucking clear them out. And I'm not sure. Oh, you know what I should do? I shouldn't mention that it's related to piss at all. I should be like, hey, listen, I've got the secret ingredient, and you know it's all in this warehouse. I need you to go help me get it. Whatnot. And they fucking go there and just the room smells violently of piss.
No. You get in there and the room doesn't smell, and then you have to engineer a way as to which, without fail, one of the boxes drops and gets broken.
Why would it be in a box?
No, it's like boxes containing bottles.
Oh, I was saying, fucking here, piss in this wooden box and
No.
seal it up and shit.
No. It's like, have you ever ordered like? Have you ever seen?
No, I
glass?
know what you're trying to
Yeah.
say, but like fucking, I was just having like big old urns and shit, like the fucking Skyrim.
You have to have one fucking fall over so that they could just be there. And it's just like you suddenly smell the acrid scent of fermented piss.
Make matters worse, you can tell this is not fresh piss. This is old piss. It's dark brown now. Oh, it's awful.
That's horrible, but we love it.
Oh, goddamn. God fucking damn. Oh,
Damn, I
Jesus.
can't use water float here. It is in water. Can't float in
That's
water.
the piss problems. Jacob, you take that revealing clothing off right now, mister, and you put on something safe.
No. What's wrong with it, father? This is who I am now. Here it goes. That's better. I'm sorry. The skirt not short enough on this made it fit. Is this what we're gonna call it?
You can't hide from me without using your fucking push to
Oh.
talk, you little
Is
bastard.
this what we're calling it?
Yes, this is what we're calling it, you little fuck.
Alright. Well, thank you
Oh,
for
God, I
enduring
already
our
made
insanity
out-
for the
oh,
day.
Jesus.
And our talk of piss and shit and all that good shit.
See, you're not gonna be looking to mate outfit again without thinking those little poor old children.
I'm not. But, I digress. Farewell, everybody. Farewell. Bye-bye. So long. Mwah, mwah.